There's a
Welcome
new...
back
Oh, hello,
to
everybody.
the Forbidden
Hello.
City.
Yay!
Where we only prepared to die.
Yeah, well, that's still for another week yet. For now, this
we could
week,
easily die today.
we could, but for now, this week, we are still in the Forbidden City of Omu. It's your third week here. Well,
Week of
out of
day.
game. Yeah,
Come
third
on.
day in game, but our third
Come the fucking bomb!
our third week of playing through the Forbidden City of Omu, and you are doing your best to uncover and obtain the 9 magic puzzle cubes that will gain you access to the tomb of the 9 gods. So far, you have 3, I believe.
Yes. We were going for our 4th when we ran into Bag of Dead Stuff.
That is correct. The Red Wizards of Thay have been searching through the city alongside you. You have only encountered each other once thus far, but they've also been busy, and currently they also have in hand 3 of the 9 puzzle cubes.
But we don't know that.
No, leaving. I know, but out of game I keep a running commentary, leaving 3 left for you to find. Last week, you were on your way to the shrine of Unk, the flail snail, when you were ambushed by a tabaxi assassin called Bag of Nails, who had come to Omu for the great hunt at the end of his life. And he was searching for a legendary artifact known as the Navel of the Moon, a legendary gem from the kingdom of Kalimshan that supposedly has the power to reunite one with their loved ones, even across space, time, and fate. In his old age, he'd become senile, bitter, and paranoid, and was determined to kill anybody he encountered in the city to prevent them from obtaining this treasure. You fought him until the point where he surrendered, and then he invited you back to his shelter, where he promptly proceeded to offer you a free meal laced with deadly poison. Bobbit made good on her promise to eat him if he tried to kill her again. And you then searched through his belongings and found that he had marked 3 places in the city as possible locations where his treasure could be discovered. By the time you found this, the sun had started to set, and so you decided to bunker down in Bag of Nails' dirty basement hideout for the night. You've since had your long rest, and you are woken at the crack of dawn by the sounds of the Forbidden City eking in through the door up on the first floor and rousing you from your slumber. The sounds of jungle birds and wildlife becoming active and going about their daily business. The sounds of crumbling buildings and running water and distant shouts and hisses off somewhere in the city of the Yuan T and the Red Wizards, no doubt clashing over some forgotten secret or another. So before you continue on with your current quest, is there anything you would like to do here in this temporary hideout?
Well, I'm guessing that that's another 2 hit points for me and Sir Lucian.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure you subtracted that at the end of last session, though.
Did I? Because I was only 3 points down, which was...
Yep, so that is another 1 hit point, 'cause it's every 12 hours.
Yeah.
So you should be down 4 altogether, as Bulb, you wake up this morning, and to your dismay, you find that several more of your feathers on your right wing have withered and fallen off, and you can start to see the leathery skin underneath now clearly visible now that there's bald patches where there are no feathers whatsoever.
Yo. Fun. Well, I would like to go and wait for all my shrubs, who I'm sure all succeeded in their stealth reconnaissance.
Yes, none of which are definitely not dead.
Yeah.
Okay,
Considering I rolled a 3 and a 5.
yes. So your first
Fine.
group, as everyone else gets up, starts to rustle up a meager breakfast, checks their equipment. You make your way upstairs and stand in the small alleyway outside the building. Just lean up against the crumbling wall of the structure, waiting for your shrubs to return. And eventually, your shrubs come back, slowly shuffling down the dirt road that winds through the middle of this narrow street. But there are only 4.
No.
The group that you sent to scout Aijin's shrine informs you that when they arrived, they found the shrine open, and just as they got there, they witnessed a party of wizard-looking types, clad completely in red, exiting.
Okay, so Ijin has been sacked, so that
Yep.
can be in red to show that it's nothing there.
The second group, the one who you sent to investigate random buildings, cautiously shuffle close, and when you ask them if they found anything, they look at each other, and then one of them says, dude, sorry, dude. We had the whole house to ourselves. Like, we couldn't be bothered looking, so we just chilled and talked all night, dude. So it appears they found nothing. The
I
third
don't know whether to
group...
take them seriously or not as to whether they stayed in one house or not.
The third group that you sent to scout out Nang Nang's shrine did not return.
And so, yeah, but I have no idea whether they perished at the shrine or on the way to the shrine. Do
Yes. No,
I?
you
Okay,
do not.
fair enough.
Just
Okay,
that
so
something foul must have met them along the way and
Yeah.
dispatched them before they could
understand.
complete their objective.
Unknown. Okay. Well, then I'm gonna send all 4 of them
Yep, that you have
to
left.
search houses.
Very well. As they
And
walk
with
off,
the added instruction of if they see any wizards in red, to
hide immediately.
hide. Yeah.
One of them raises a branch as he shuffles away and says, "Got it, dude. If we see the fuzz, hide all the weed."
Surprisingly accurate.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, what did I want Bob to do?
And then I'll just go in and produce good berries for everyone
Yep,
and feed
use
cats
good
as well.
berries. Yep, feed your baby Tamadans who eat their good berries with relish and purr as they rub against you after completing their meal, obviously having adopted you as their new mother.
Aw, it's nice.
Bobbit, did you wish to do anything before you left?
Yeah, I'm going to reset the water breathing spell, just you know,
Just
you
in
never know,
case,
in
yep.
case. And as she goes to leave, like sort of starts to go up the stairs, then goes, oh, wait, forgot something, runs back down. So like everyone else outside, so he hears like a thump sound, some sort of magic being spelled, and then Bobbit comes out. Following behind her, though, is the skeleton of Bag of Nails.
Shreds of half-eaten meat still dangling off his bones, replete with tooth marks from Bobbit.
You just had Bobbit just going, okay guys, Bag of Bones is going to be following us for the day, so be nice to him now.
Xenon just looks at Bobbit and says, don't play with your food.
Bag of
Anymore.
Bones just turns his head and stares at Zinhorn with one eye still half hanging out of the empty socket, and the other socket completely blank and just a black hole of nothingness.
Mm-hmm.
Really, Bobbit, you shouldn't have wasted the other eye. That's a delicacy in some cultures.
He still has to see.
I believe when you bring him back, it's more magical than physical.
Yeah, Bob just so looks here. Bob just so stops, goes, wait, do they still need the Yeah, just so turns the Bag of Bones going, you're gonna need that eye.
Bag of Bones stares at Bobbit and then he shrugs, all of his bones rattling, and he reaches up and plucks the eye out of the socket and just lazily hands it over to Bobbit, resigned to his fate.
Bobbit hands it to Bob, goes, there you go.
Can I do a check to see if it's still edible, or has it gone off overnight?
It's looking a little bit yellowed and bloated by this point, but you could probably still eat it.
What's my constitution?
I mean, you're already died. Hey, mate, you're already on your deathbed. That's a little before you go.
Xenon just leaves the room.
What is your passive perception, Bulb?
Passive perception is 20.
You raise the eyeball up to your face to get a better look at it and open your mouth tentatively about to take a nibble, and then you notice something squirming under the surface and realise that there is a lone maggot burrowed into the flesh of the eye.
Oh, even better, and I eat it.
Please make a con save.
Here we go. I knew that was bad.
Xenon rolled a 9 on con save to not hurl.
Fuck you all, that was a 19.
So Zinhorn, from outside the room, you just hear Zinhorn going,
Running up the stairs.
Yeah.
Running up the stairs.
Nope.
You just hear Zinhorn from outside going, "Blah!" And Bulb, the eye is surprisingly tasty for being a day old at this point. Perhaps the added time of decay has added some earthy aftertaste to it that you quite enjoy. And you gain an inspiration point.
Oh, awesome.
You're bloody well welcome.
When I was a lizard man, folks, I was hardy and, I could take a hit or two. And I've been getting used to this bird form. It comes with its perks. And some weird cravings.
Probably knows how that feels.
And so with that, as you leave the crumbling house, and Bag of Bones comes along behind you, his bones rattling with every step. You catch up to Zinhorn, looking extremely pale.
I'm just leaning over a bush.
Hey, that wasn't Shaggy, was it? Oh, wait, no, Shaggy and Scoot. Right.
Yeah.
Aw, I probably like those ones.
So Lucian just pats Zinhorn on the back. Zinhorn steadies himself, and with that you set out once again into the crumbling city of Omu. So Lucian, you have joined us, and you are down 1 HP, 1 max HP, which went away over the long rests. 12 hours passed. So you should be down 4 altogether at this point.
Zinhorn just drill casts like a nice smelling flower and just holds it up to his nose, so he's just trying to get the
smell of
horrible
the sick
smell.
away.
Can I do a perception to see
That was
if
so
Bag
dumb,
of
but
Bones...
so worth it.
Can I do a perception check to see if Bag of Bones still has his liver?
I feel like
that was a
You
joke.
peer in through his narrow rib cage, and you find that Bobbit has pretty much either fully eaten or completely mangled all of his innards to the point that any that remain are now just red mud.
Yeah, you just turn back to Bob and she's like, Bobbin has weed cravings as well.
So, where would you like to go?
While we're walking out, Bulb goes, so I was thinking over the night. Me and Lucian aren't getting any healthier, and I wasn't, exactly the toughest sponge as it was. Maybe, and this is just a suggestion, we check...
Pact.
No suicide pact.
Maybe we check out Unk's shrine, and if we get the cube with minimal fuss, I think it might be time we think about actually facing the wizards before we get to the point that Lucian and I are not capable of helping much.
That's a good point.
A good point, but at the same time, we don't really know exactly where the wizards are going to be, so we can go...
Yes, that is a problem.
Although you do seem to have determined, at least from your most recent expedition with the shrubs, that they all seem to be in the northern part of the city thus far. So you've narrowed down at least the half of the city they're in.
Did we hear what is presumably the King T-Rex, the King of Feathers roar in the morning when the sun rose?
Yeah, I meant to ask about that.
Yes, it could have been the King of Feathers, it could have been some other creature.
But we did hear a roar.
You did hear some sort of roar, and it was quickly followed by what sounded like the distant sounds of terrified screaming.
Okay.
Somebody found him.
So you'd like
Yes.
to head to Unk's shrine first?
Yes.
Snail, snail.
Yep, very well.
Snail, yay!
As you make your way through this maze of half-collapsed buildings, and it feels like the gnarled trees, vines, and creepers are pressing down upon you, ready to choke the life out of you, I would like someone to please roll a d20.
Oh,
Go ahead, Sir Lucian.
that is a 6.
That is a 6. The journey through this part of the city is uneventful, and even as you wait for any forms of unwanted life to jump out at you, especially after last night's ordeal with Bag of Nails, you manage to make it to Unk's shrine uninterrupted.
Awesome.
Arriving there about not just after 9 a.m. or so. The sun is already high in the sky, and you could feel that familiar jungle humidity starting to build up once again.
So we need to be aware that if I'm reading this correctly, the flail snail has got a very shiny shell, enough to blind Ubtao and make their eyes water.
That is correct.
Could I do a nature check to see if flail snails,
If you know
to see what I know about flail
Yeah,
snails?
go ahead, make a nature check.
That was a 17 plus nature. 17 plus 23. 22, sorry.
Yep. Alright, so as you make your way towards the shrine, you try to recall all the knowledge you have of flail snails, and remember that they are a minor form of earth elemental, and they're highly sought out by hunters and poachers due to the fact that they produce from their bodies a number of valuable resources. Their body parts and colourful shells are often used to produce several protective magical items due to both their thickness and the minor aura of earth magic that they emanate. They have between 4 and 6 tentacles, usually 5, that are kept in constant motion, swaying slowly if the creature was calm, or fast if it's agitated. They possess very colourful, scintillating shells that have anti-magic properties.
There we go, that's what I was looking for. Okay. I tell everyone about this. Yes, a flail snail will nullify 99% of magic cast at it.
Yes.
So it just starts flancing immediately.
In fact, its shell is often used as a component in making armor that protects against magic.
Yes. Metagaming, I kind of hope we fight it so that I can harvest some shell. But
Yes.
obviously Bob doesn't want to fight it.
Buddy.
And so, you approach the shrine. Swirly carvings decorate 2 obelisks at the entrance to this compound. An
Would I know
overgrown... Yep.
if that would include my beast shaping? My wild
No,
shaping?
that is not a magical effect.
Okay, cool. Just
An overgrown courtyard lies under the shade of tall palm trees. Stone doors seal the entrance to a windowless stone shrine, with a smaller structure, ruined, standing nearby.
Okay. Bobbit, are there any inscriptions on the obelisks?
You examine the obelisks, and aside from some very faded depictions of large snails, you see no writing.
Okay. So no rhyming warning this time. Okay.
Or it could be elsewhere.
Maybe it's in the smaller house.
Would you guys like me to sneak up and peek in through the door?
Yes.
Of the smaller building?
Yes.
Very well. Bulb, please make a stealth check. You may make it with advantage as you are moving along on foot.
That is a 12 plus 6 are 18.
18. You creep across the opening of the courtyard towards the small ruined building and peer through the open doorway. Inside, you see the roof of this building collapsed long ago, and now a thick mass of plants grows from the rubble. Through the moss, you see hundreds of iron keys hanging from hooks on the wall. Some are bent and broken, while others are rusted beyond repair. The rest of them look serviceable.
Huh.
Get through it.
Are there any that are like shiny or golden or silver or something, or are they all rusty iron?
None of them look as if they're brand new. They've all got at least some degree of use on them. And they look like they've been sitting here for quite some time. Some of them are damaged beyond repair. Some of them look like you could still use them, but they don't look brand new or anything.
Okay. Are they all the same shape, or are they all different kinds of, like, teeth? Varieties.
Make a perception check, please.
Oh, shit. That is... Shouldn't have used that dice. That's a 10.
There's so many keys that you can't be sure they are all different, but you definitely notice that some of them have different teeth than the others.
Okay, no, yep, pretty much. And before I go back to report, can I see any, like, stone tablets that have writing on them?
Not in this building, no.
Okay, I will go back. That room's full of keys.
keys, you say?
Yes, it seems they're all old, very old iron keys. not all of them are in usable shape, but that being said, I didn't see anything in there, like any living thing in there, but things have slipped by me before.
Are we going to need one of those keys for the door, perhaps?
Perhaps. I didn't get a look at the door to the temple yet, so I've come back to tell you guys first.
Can we see the door from here? Like,
You can see the door from here, but if you want to check to see if it needs a key or something, you will need to cross the courtyard to get to the door.
Does anyone... Oh, there's the... So what does... Unk do? Unk the first now look deep into the earth and noise of the other animals fighting made us slip up to the surface. The light blind on down Maddie's eyes water, life returned to Omuan and the people built shrines. Guys, before we go on, I think it best that we be very quiet. In the tale, noise brought Unk to the surface. And if I would have to hazard a quick guess, I would say that if we pick up the wrong key, I'm guessing the keys might jangle or fall, creating a clatter.
Yeah.
But also, if we manage to shine a light in there, maybe that will reveal the correct one.
Does anyone have any light spells?
Nope.
No, not anymore. I do have produce flame though.
Yeah, I've got things that make like a flame, like Druidcraft. I can light stuff.
Yeah, what is the actual wording of Druidcraft, just in case?
You may instantly light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire.
Okay.
I want to go and inspect the door, but I want to be like quiet and stealthy and like use my Masters of the Wild to try and
Yep, that's fine.
sneak from like the trees to try and get a closer look at the door.
So you move up to the door, and as you approach the great stone door, you detect no signs of movement in the courtyard. This stone door appears to be quite similar to all of the others in the other shrines. It's just a big, thick slab of stone that doesn't have a doorknob or anything, and seems to just require a feat of strength to move. However, you notice that there are some tabaxi writings carved into the plinth above the doorway.
There it is.
Signal to Bobbert to come and have a look.
Hooray! Let's go read some stuff. What are we reading?
Alright, so Bobbert, you're going to move up to where Zinhorn is.
Yeah, we'll quietly make our way across because we told
Quietly? Okay, make a stealth check
actually,
then.
I was going to say, as I do, but let's go look back to Bag of, well, the now nicknamed Bag of Bones, and just motion for him to stay put.
Yes. In fact, I need to add him to his token.
Yeah, because he won't be quiet.
No, he'll rattle and... I'm just going to add him, so...
I wish I didn't have disadvantage on my stealth. I got 15 and then I rolled a nat 20, so I'll take that.
That's okay.
Nat 20 would have been great though, just saying.
So yeah, Bobbert, you slowly make your way out across the courtyard to the door, doing your best to try and not make any sound that might disturb anything. And you come up behind Zinhorn and quietly read the writings above the door. And they read, Unk urges us to contrast all options before acting. Please make a religion check.
Oh boy. That's a good old boy. I'm actually okay though. That's a 21.
No.
You try to think what this message could mean, and you think of the writings that were provided by the Red Wizards scribe, and you remember that Unk's priests were known to be contemplative but often prone to indecision.
Contemplative but indecision.
I like that boring as heck.
Yeah, boring, basically.
Is there any sort of like lock on the door, or?
No, it looks like you can just push it right open. You don't know where the keys.
Keys might come a bit late.
What's the sky like at the moment? Is it clear?
Yes, the sky appears to be clear.
Okay. Before they open the door, or while Bobbit is reading, I would like to go back to the room of the keys and cast Druidcraft to create a timely, harmless sensory effect that predicts what the weather will be at your location for the next 24 hours.
Yep.
It says, and this is just a suggestion, so you can change it obviously, the effect might manifest as a golden orb for clear skies.
Yes, a little golden orb just appears in the middle of the ruined workshop, just floating in the air.
And does it give off any light or no?
It does give off light, but all the light does is reveal that there are a lot of keys, perhaps more than you thought there were, and they're all in a variety of different conditions. However, now that you can see them more clearly, you determine that it appears the vast majority of them all have different teeth.
Okay, well, fair enough. I would then like to join Bobbit and Zinhorn at the door.
Yep. Okay, you join Bobbit and Zinhorn at the door, and they're staring at the door. There's no lock or handle or anything on the door. It looks like you'll be able to just force it open with a feat of strength. And you see Sir Lucian standing at the entrance of the courtyard, just waiting for you to call him over.
Knowing that it's sort of like slid up from the ground, is there any part of the surface of the ground that we can see that looks like it's like either like recently dug or that there's been motion or something?
You can make an investigation check, please.
Ooh, can do that.
That is a 13.
21.
It does not appear as if anyone has entered the shrine. However, you do notice that here and there in the courtyard there are patches of earth underneath the moss and grass that appear to be slightly disturbed, as if they've been dug up and then filled again. And there are at least two of these spots, one to your right and one to your left.
That's pretty.
Want me to go in?
This-
So Bob wants to check the spots that have been dug up.
I've got a potential way, but it would be Earth Elemental.
Ooh. Merge with stone.
Well, no, Earth Elemental can burrow through non-magic, unworked Earth.
Oh,
So-
yes, Sir Lucian could actually use his merge with stone ability.
Oh yeah,
to just
Zinhorn, in
sink
case you
into
didn't
the ground.
notice, Sir Lucian is an Earth genocide.
Genasi, yeah. So he can actually meld into the ground.
Well, he can
And
do that, and that would
also
save me
do-
my spell.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
So-
I will, for the first time ever, use Merge with stone.
I think you've used it once before
Yeah, I think
back in
it's like the
Waterdeep,
second
but
time. Yeah, I think
yeah.
yeah. I think
Oh,
it's-
ages
Yep.
ago.
I think
Yeah.
like our second session.
Yeah.
so it's very situational. So Sir Lucian, as
Oh, I've got
you
Earthwalk.
yeah, you do. As you make your way over to the spot on the right, please roll a stealth check with disadvantage.
Okay. That is a 17.
17, yes.
Oh,
That is-
nice.
You quietly, despite your heavy armor, make your way over to the patch of dug-up earth that's littered with bits of gravel and debris and tiny rocks, and then you get down on your hands and knees and you press your hands against piles of gravel and feel yourself beginning to sink into the earth. And there, just under the surface of the dirt, you see a flail snail. waiting
Okay.
beneath the earth, its 5 tentacles lazily questing back and forth, attempting to detect vibrations in the earth above. Once you've confirmed that it's there, you hold your breath, silently say, "Oh shit," and then emerge from the earth once again and quietly tell the others what you found.
Guys, don't go in there. Don't go in there. No, don't go in there.
I was gonna say, if I was just watching Lucy go back under the like into the dirt, going, "Hey, how did you do that?" I said, "What? Why aren't we going in there?"
So Lucian informs you that he's found underneath the dug-up patch of earth a flail snail, apparently lying in wait there.
Now what?
Is there one in the other side as well, or?
Well, you could assume there is. You could get Sir Lucy to check if you want.
I mean, it's probably a safe assumption that if there's one there lying in wait, that means the other one's probably there as well.
So it's waiting for vibrations.
Yeah.
So if we move this thing, that's going to cause vibrations.
It will, unless you could find a way to unless you could find another way in or a way to quietly open it.
What if...
Is there any? Oh,
I could think of at least one way that you could quietly get through.
is there any open ports up the top of the building?
There might be. No one's checked the roof yet.
Well, as Sir Lucian asks that, Bulb will try and fly up
Yep.
and have a look.
So Bulb, you flap your wings and fly up above the shrine, and you see that just above the doorway, right here, there is a small gap about 10 feet wide, neatly cut into the roof of the shrine.
Okay. Can I land on the side of it and look in?
Yep. You land on the side of the gap, and you look in. Please make a perception check.
That's a bit better. That is 24.
So underneath, on the other side of the hole, you can see, all you can make out is what appears to be a large open room paved in stone. However, the light is quite dim, and from this angle you can't see much further than what's just underneath the gap.
Okay. Will dark vision help at all with that?
Well, yes. Well, all you can see is that underneath the gap there's about 10 square feet of just stone flooring with nothing else notable about it. You can't see any obvious traps or any signs of movement.
Okay. Can I look at the door from the inside from here?
Yes, you can. And you can see that the door from this side appears to be just the same stone slab. There doesn't appear to be any traps or anything on the door. It's just that opening it would make obviously a large amount of noise.
Yeah, okay. Are the doors made of stone?
Yes.
I will fly back to Bobbit and Zinhorn and try to quietly land.
Yep.
And I will say to them and Sir Lucian, there's a hole up top that I would easily fit through. Possibly Ava as well if she got up there silently enough. Sir Lucian could possibly walk through the stone door,
Yes, he could.
and the three of us could enter without making any sound to wake these flail snails.
I
Like
can.
Lucian to walk
I would be able to get up as well.
the stone first, because he's alert anyway, and he can tell you if there's.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, Zinhorn, Bulb, and Ava could silently fly up, looking through the hole in the roof while you walked in, through the door, and then if you got and then if you got in and nothing happened to you, we could then come in ourselves. Or if you got attacked, we could support you from the top.
Yeah. Well,
Listen
Bobbit
to
can get up
blood
the top
curtain
as well.
screams.
Bobbit as well, if she could get up without making a
Alternatively,
sound.
I may point out that Bobbit could use her marvelous pigments to paint
Yeah, I
a
was
door.
going to suggest that. I was just interrupt him while he was on his roll.
I forgot that you had the pigment.
Yeah. I was going to mention it, but you were kind of on a roll and I didn't want to interrupt because you were doing a really good job and I was loving listening to it.
That being said, you probably don't want to waste 5 foot of pigment.
Yeah, probably not on this.
Because there is an obvious other way in.
Well, it would be the other one who couldn't get in without opening the door or making noise.
Yeah, there would be a chance that Bobbit's helicopter pack would create noise.
I want
Actually,
them to go up
Would-
behind me and
in,
then follow after me when I go in.
Well,
no, but
only
you're
you
gonna-
can pass through stone. No one else can.
I'm gonna open up the door though.
Well, we weren't
No, but-
opening the door, you were just passing through the
Yeah,
door.
you're just
If you
passing
open the door,
through
it's
it.
going to alert the
Yeah.
snails. which
You're
will
just
attack
passing
us.
straight through the door because it's made of stone.
Actually, does Bobbit want to use my rug?
That makes less noise than the helicopter. It still does make a little bit of noise, but it is safer.
How much does Bobbit weigh if she takes off the helicopter pack?
Take off the helicopter pack.
Yeah, you know how you're wearing a backpack and it's incorporated into your helicopter?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't actually know how much the helicopter pack weighs.
We'll say you're 10 pounds lighter without it.
Would
Giant Eagle be able to pick Bobbit up?
Yeah, probably. I mean, Bobbit's a medium. Well, Bobbit's a small creature because I
Yep.
you know, say a human child is the same
Child.
size as a halfling. So
yeah. We have ways of getting her up there then, so
Yep. Who wants to carry Bobbit?
it's just the whole thing of now we just hope that when Sir Lucian walks through the doors, it doesn't activate any traps that insta kill him.
He's already dying, so.
Dying.
Because yeah, my other thought was going like the Spider Queen, so that I can sort of like,
I'll just crawl up.
yeah.
yeah,
So if Bobbit can be carried by others, and that's what I was going to do. So because I don't think.
Oh well,
Giant
if you
Eagle-
Spider Queen, I'm guessing you could leave a silk rope the side of the building that Bobbit could try to climb,
I could, yes.
or make a harness and we can lift her up.
I'm just really hoping with all this contemplation and constant back and forth questioning, the door's just going to we're going to succeed automatically by taking this long.
Yeah,
Perhaps not.
this temple is surprisingly accurate to our group.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one that
It's
forces
not
you to stop and
contemplation.
think.
There's no contemplation, we're just shit scared of everything.
Yeah, you still don't know what all the keys in the workshop are for.
Yeah, that's what worries me.
So
Alternatively, there might be another way in if you still want to look for it.
already
I
contemplating.
mean, sure, why not? Let's just add more to the fucking think tank, why don't we?
No. Either fly Bobbit up or make a rope out of spider silk, and we'll get Lucian to look.
Is Ava with us, technically?
Ava is with you, yes.
So
Well, I
maybe
will
you
just
carry
point
me,
out,
yeah.
while you were flying up above, you did also notice a pool of water around the back of the structure, and the water is leaking underneath the shrine.
Underneath the shrine?
So we can probably enter through.
Oh.
You could probably
You guys
swim in as
keep-
well.
You guys keep thinking of a way through here. I'm gonna go check out a pond of water that I saw when I was up top.
Yep.
I was gonna say, we could technically all get in through that, because we can all
Yeah.
get underwater.
I've got to make sure that it's a big enough opening for all of us.
Yeah, I was gonna, yeah. Okay,
We've
so,
still got to
yep,
get
so,
around there.
so
Yeah, I'll fly
Bob-
up and over.
Yeah, you fly up and over and land next to the pond. Bulb, please make a perception check.
Oh, that's an 8.
The water is quite murky. It almost has the same colour and consistency as mud, and there are leaves and bits of vines and stuff like that littering the surface. All you can tell is that it is quite deep, and you can just make out the curvature of a tunnel that moves underneath the shrine.
See, I don't like the observant feat because it doesn't give you proficiency in.
Give you something for observation, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you'd think at least for perception it would give you proficiency.
Well, what's your passive perception?
My passive is 20.
Okay, well I'll let you use that instead.
I would like to please use that.
Okay, so new house roll going forwards. When you roll a perception check, you can choose, instead of rolling, to just use your passive perception.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Woohoo,
Yeah.
a rule that I can't even...
Yeah. Same with investigation. If you don't want to roll, you can use your passive investigation. So Bulb, you squint and peer through the murky surface into the water, and you determine that there is definitely some sort of tunnel winding its way underneath the shrine. It's about 5 feet in diameter. It would be a tight squeeze, but it is possible that everyone could fit.
And we all have water breathing, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will go back and tell them of that way.
Yep. Flapping your wings.
Hey everyone, want to be a fish?
So, you now have 3 options to enter. Which one do you prefer?
I was more than fine with the underwater one, because it doesn't require anyone to have to carry a wave steady.
Just got to make our way around without alerting
Yeah.
the snails.
Now, Bulb and Ava can just fly over to the pond, but everyone else will have to sneak around the side of the building to the pond.
Do we have to re-roll our stealth?
Yes, you will have to, because you're moving directly over the flail snail.
Yay.
So yes, we now have 3 options: break down the door, do the whole Silesian through the door while we drop in from the top, or we sneak over flail snails.
We could also have Lucian go through the front door, have the 2 flyers go in through the roof, and have the other 2 go around.
Yes, that you could
that's
take
true.
multiple ways. Yes.
That is true.
Well, let's go with the underwater option, because that's the easiest one
'Cause-
for her.
Yeah, so yeah, Zinhorn and Bob would go around to the water, just so that no one, like Lucian will be on his own, but the 2 flyers will be
Yeah,
right
so-
there.
So Lucian will pass through the door. Bulb and Ava will come in through the roof, and Bobbit and Zinhorn will swim.
We all good with that? Because, yeah.
Also, I forgot to write down that during the long rest I actually just changed out one of my spells.
Ah, that's fine.
Yeah, I just gotta remember to actually change it on my damn sheet. Because I change it in my head and then I forget to write it down.
Yeah. Okay, so, well, with that, Bulb and Ava. Yep, before you go.
Before we start sneaking again, Bulb will cast Pass Without Trace.
Oh, thank God!
I thought you might have
Ah.
gone with that one.
Thank you!
Yeah. I was thinking about it today. I've got to change out a spell. Got to change out a spell.
So
Thank
pass
you.
without trace, yes.
Yes.
Bulb
So everyone
passed
gets a +10.
to stealth, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bulb, after you cast pass without trace, you and Ava flap your wings and land up on the roof of the shrine next to the small hole, while Sir Lucian stands in front of the door. And Zinhorn and Bobbit, I'd like you to make stealth checks, please, and you may add +10 to your skill.
Stealthy swim times with Bulbit's new friend. That's a 22. Actually, no way. I gotta roll with disadvantage. Hold on a second. Plus. Where's my stealth instance? Plus 3. So that's a 17.
17, okay.
27.
So Bobbit and Zinhorn, you creep
27.
You creep nervously
I rolled a
over the
4, but I made it.
disturbed earth and eventually come to the edge of the pond. And you're not sure how Bulb saw the tunnel because all you could see is a murky puddle of water, but you trust that it's there.
Bird eyes.
Okay, so who would like to enter first?
Bobbit
I guess so.
cannonballs in.
Yep, Bobbit cannonballs into the water. Zinhorn follows behind. And the two of you swim down to the bottom of the pool, struggling to see this brown, thick, dirty water. But you eventually find the puzzle and swim along it. Eventually coming to a stone trapdoor at the end of the tunnel that purportedly leads up into the shrine. So someone will need to make an athletics check to push that open, please.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess me.
Yep,
The other
go
two
ahead.
Probably have slightly better athletics. Depends. What do you have in athletics?
And
Plus 5.
Oh, really? Jesus. Okay. You
I am
first.
proficient in athletics.
Okay, well, you push it down. I'm just gonna be happy swimming, I guess.
That is a 21.
21. So Zinhorn, you press up against the stone slab until you feel it give way, and the stale light from the shrine above begins to billow down into the water, and then you and Bobbit swim up to the surface until your heads emerge above the surface of the water and you breathe air once again. Meanwhile, Sir Lucian presses his hands against the stone doors and deftly passes through them.
Yeah.
And inside... So I'll say Sir Lucian's entering first, because all he has to do is walk through the door. So while he's entered, you guys are still opening the trapdoor. A statue of a giant snail looms before you, Sir Lucian. In place of antennae, it has 5 pseudopods ending in rocky clubs. It's a statue of a flail snail. Along the walls, 6 iron keys hang in small niches above stone plinths. Behind the statue, a carved pedestal in a wide alcove has a keyhole set into its base. And as you take a step further into the room, suddenly the alcoves on the walls all begin to rattle as a cold wind blows through them, and 6 spectral figures emerge from the
Fucking hell.
walls.
Son of a bitch.
Please roll for
Come and
initiative.
catch me. Oh.
Ah! Initiative.
That was fun.
22.
22.
I don't have anything for fucking ghosts, damn it.
He's got a vacuum cleaner. They can't stop us all.
What level does conjure animals?
Yep, so I need Sir Lucian to roll for initiative. I need Zinhorn and Bobbit to roll for initiative.
Bobbit said be right back just before.
Yep.
17.
17. Lovely. Okay.
It's an 8.
8 for Zinhorn, unfortunately.
Natural 1 plus 7.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Right, I'm
so...
under this trap.
Yep, so in the first round of combat, only Sir Lucian will act. Then in the second round of combat, Bulb, Sir Lucian, and Ava will act. And then in the third round of combat, Zinhorn and Bobbit will get to act. So, Sir Lucian, you see these ghosts emerge. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
Is it possible to basically fly around the room via the walls?
If you're on your carpet, yes.
What about if I merged into the stone wall?
Well, you've used up all your uses of merge with stone now.
Oh, I thought
it
that
is
lasted
limited.
for like a whole hour.
No.
Oh.
Well, once you merge through something, it gets used up, yes. When you merged down and saw
okay.
the flail snail, you're technically only supposed to use it once per long rest, but because all you did is find a flail snail, I didn't subtract the use. But passing through the door, I will.
Alright.
So yeah, Bobbert, I need you to roll for initiative, please.
I came back and found a room full of ghosts. I don't think I want to roll for initiative. That's 17.
17, yep.
Don't worry, you get to go on round 3 because you've got to get through the tunnel, obviously.
Yeah.
Just about the boss literally gonna poke her head up out of the water and go, alright, we made it one day. Nope. Just sit
Back in the water. Back in the water.
Nope, back we go, back we go.
So what would you
Well,
like
I
to
might
do,
do a
Sir
roll, I
Lucian?
think.
You do have a magic
I'm
sword.
going to charge into the spectrals
Yep.
and attack them.
Yep, so which
Yep.
we'll just say Spectre number 2. Ah, you run
Spectral
right up.
1.
Spectre 1, alright. Go up and
Up to
roll
1.
to hit Spectre 1, please.
Look, better dead. Oh shit, 4. So 4
Plus
That's a hit, isn't it?
11.
15.
15.
11 plus... That's a hit. Roll for damage.
Makes such a difference.
I love that you have a plus 11. That's just crazy.
Roll the
Why
4
is
and
this a
still hit.
thing?
Oh, okay, that's 1 point of damage
Plus 11, so 12.
12.
Go for your next attack.
Alright, it's like, you look better dead. I mean, still dead.
I don't want to
that
be a
is-
spoil sport, but that would have been 8 damage, not 11, because you don't have proficiency to damage.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, okay. You know,
Oh, wait,
Sorry,
yeah,
I don't want to
you
be a
don't
spoil
have
sport, but...
That's right, yeah,
You
sorry.
don't want to be that
Forgot about
guy.
that. Yes, yeah. It's alright.
Still
Yeah, it's still 8, so go ahead, roll to hit again.
Okay, I got 15.
15. Yep, that's definitely a hit. Roll for
Jesus
damage
Christ.
again.
Why?
I just want to put out there that with that roll, he would have hit most D&D bosses.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. The man's a beast.
That is what? 8, 5, 13 points of damage?
13 points of damage, and as you slash at the spectre, it screams and bursts into a puff of smoke. It is destroyed. And so, Lucian, I will point out that as you are 7th level, you actually learned 2 new maneuvers. So you should have 5 maneuvers.
Oh.
So yeah, you can look in the book and pick any 2 new ones. Okay, it is the enemy's turn. Ghost number 1 will... Ghost number 1 is going to attempt to possess Sir Lucian.
Oh,
I need
God,
Sir
no.
Lucian to please make a DC 13 Charisma save.
Oh no.
Oh no!
He should have he should have decent charisma.
Does he?
What was it?
13 Charisma save.
Oh god.
No, please don't. Don't make that noise.
I got a 10.
Okay.
Let's get charisma.
Ghost number 1 smiles and swoops full into head first into Sir Lucian's body, embedding
Oh,
itself into him. He is
I have
now
a way to help
possessed.
with that. I actually have a way to help with that, so...
So
Alright,
it is,
Okay.
Christ, you need to
Bring it on.
it has used its turn. Okay, and with that, the other enemies are prepare reactions, as there are no visible enemies to attack. Okay, Bold, it is your turn now. What would you like to
Okay,
do?
actually, I do have to actually ask first. Is a possession a magic ability? Like, is it a magical effect?
It is not a magical effect. It's like a wild. Actually, no. It is kind of a dispel evil and good spell work, but not
not a
dispel
dispel
magic.
magic?
No.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, Lucian, I don't have a way to help.
Oh,
Actually, though, I still may have a way to help and keep him. I would like to hover. Can I peek through and see him?
You've pretty much seen everything that's happened in the last turn.
Okay, I would like to cast Hold Person on Sir Lucian.
Okay, very well. Sir Lucian.
Let me look up
please.
what exactly Hold Person is.
He needs to make a wisdom save.
Yes, a wisdom save, and he needs to beat a 16.
Yep.
Please roll low. Please roll low.
Yeah, if there's a time we'd like to fail, this would be it.
Oh wow, that's a 3.
Yep.
Oh, thank God.
So Lucian, who immediately starts lumbering towards Bulb, is suddenly frozen in place, unable to move, still holding his sword up above his head.
And with that, I would like to straight back up through the hole,
Yep.
out of sight.
Yep, straight back up out the hole. Okay, it is Sir Lucian's turn. Sir Lucian is held. It is now the enemy's turn. Ghost number 1 decides to end its possession as a bonus action.
Huh. Ah, because he's being held.
Oh
Shit.
no.
Yeah.
Which brings me, it's just a sitting duck for literally everything in the fucking room. No.
At least I got the ghost out, okay?
Yeah.
Then
What cost?
And then it's going to use its horrifying visage ability, causing Sir Lucian and Bulb
Shit.
and Ava to make wisdom saves, please.
I was
that's
out of
bad.
sight, though.
Yeah, but you're still within 60 feet of it.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
just within...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what was it, sorry?
Make a wisdom save, please.
Wisdom
I
save.
know, this is my least favorite ability.
Wisdom... I have a +8 to wisdom, so...
Yeah.
Best of luck. Because if you
You know what? That one doesn't help.
20.
Oh god, well he failed miserably. Guess what, buddy?
Alright, so who failed?
I got a nat 1.
Nat 1. Oh, okay,
Ah.
so Lucian, how did you go?
I got an unnatural 20.
Okay, so
Oh,
Sir
wow.
Lucian, you're totally fine. Bulb, you failed by 5 or more, and Ava has passed.
To be
Bulb,
fair,
yep,
that does make it a 9.
it does, but
Doesn't
yeah,
Yeah,
but
still... Yeah, no,
still
yeah, I
5
just
or more.
want to say what the
Good
So
intel
Bulb,
was.
you are frightened of ghost number 1, and you also suddenly age 30 years.
Jesus!
Okay, I need to really quickly look up the lifespan of an Alfolk.
Yeah.
Your feathers
Oh,
grow.
Fatalities, no.
Your feathers grow grey and withered as the fear of the ghost takes hold, and you see the skin underneath the bald spots growing withered and leathery, and age spots appearing. And I'm looking up. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up as well, because if I
I'm
don't
terrified.
live longer than 50, I'm dead.
You live the same age as an Aarakocra.
As a what?
As an Aarakocra.
Not good.
Wait,
that's
I'm looking it up.
Oh,
I'm looking up the. Actually,
Oh, live
Alpho.
beyond 2 centuries.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, hold on, that
Alpho
might be
reach.
different.
Yeah, No, that's a homebrew.
That's a homebrew. Fuck.
Well, no.
Don't want to have killed Bulb here, but let's see. I'm looking at the. I'm looking up the actual unearthed arcana here.
Don't worry, no one's gonna die today.
What is the life?
Every time he says it. Every
Okay.
time.
The unearthed arcana does not have a lifespan for the owl folk.
So, shitting myself at the moment.
In that case, I'm going to set your age at. Let's see. Let me just look up what you roll to see what your max lifespan is.
No, yeah, fair.
It's very
fair.
tense
Look,
right
if I go
now.
like this, that's fine.
Yeah,
Like,
no shit. Hate this
So,
stupid
Bubba, we're just staying in the water?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We're having magical
Alright.
best friend adventures in the water.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
so
could go wrong?
I will say that you live the same length of time as an Aarakocra, plus an additional 2d10 years. So 30
2d10, okay.
plus
Fucking
2d10.
high.
where are my D10s? Come on, what good D10s? Which ones haven't failed me yet? That one. That one. So, did you say 30 plus 2d10?
Yes.
But he just
I'm
aged
dead.
30
No,
years.
I'm dead because I'm 24. So that's 54. I'm dead.
54.
Yep. I keel over and die of old age.
Some animals live longer than their expected life.
Yeah, some animals do live
fucking
longer than their
Christ.
That's
expected
only another
life.
10 years anyway.
So what I will
So
do
40.
at this point is I will ask you to please make a charisma save.
Oh God, no!
The DC is 12.
No!
To use your sheer force of willpower to not keel over and die.
God, I mean, you're trying really hard to keep him alive, but you basically doomed him.
So my charisma is -1.
Yeah.
You may use
I rolled
inspiration.
a 12 negative. I can't use my inspiration.
You may use inspiration.
For fuck's sake, use it.
No, I'm dead. That was a 9, -1. That's 8.
He's dead. He's dead.
Bulb just died.
Yeah, Bulb's heart just... Bulb goes... and just collapses to the floor and is dead.
Bulb dies of old age.
Yep.
Fuck everyone.
Oh.
Bulb died of old age. It is...
What the fuck?
It is
Not
Spectre...
see that coming.
Yep. It
Okay,
is...
well, I'm gonna start rolling my next character.
Oh my god!
It is Spectre 2's turn. Spectre 2 is going to attempt to attack
I'll
Sir
be back.
Lucian. Sorry, Bulb. That is an 18 to hit. Sir Lucian blocks with his shield even though he's held. It is
He's
Spectre...
not held anymore because Bulb's dead.
Yeah, Bulb's
Yeah,
dead. That's why he's not
Bulb's
held
over
anymore.
'cause he's
But
dead.
his turn is
Hooray!
but his turn is still over. It is Spectre 3's turn. Spectre 3 swoops up to Sir Lucian and goes to attack him with advantage because he is now flanked. That is a nat 20. Sir Lucian, you take 22 points of necrotic damage.
And
And you need to make a con save, DC 10, please.
We like to thank everyone for
you
joining this
bastard.
campaign, but it looks like that we might not be getting further past this particular place.
how many points damage, sorry?
22, and you need to make a DC 10 con save.
Wasn't as bad as I thought. Here we go. That is a 13.
That is a 13, that is a
That's
pass.
a 17.
That is a pass. Ghost number 2 swoops over to Bulb's dead body and possesses it.
No!
Wait. Oh my god, you bastard.
Spectre 4 flies over to Sir Lucian and attempts to use its life drain with advantage.
Please stop.
And that is both times 21, so you are fine, Sir Lucian. It is Ava's turn. She is going to disengage from Bulb. She's going to jump down into the room and move up to Spectre 4 and attack it. And attack it with her 3 attacks. Actually, it only gets 2 because she used her bonus action to disengage. That is a nat 20 on her first.
Right.
So that is 12 points of damage on the first attack. And then the second attack is unfortunately only a 3. Oh wait, yeah, still doesn't hit because I've even adding her. Okay. It is possessed. It is now possessed Bulb's turn. He flies down into the room and casts Cure Wounds, casts Healing Word on Spectre 4, restoring it
Hang
to
on.
full. Yep.
Hang on, healing. I don't think healing word works on undead. Well, this doesn't
You
check
may be
things
right.
out.
You may be
I'm
right. Let
pretty
me
sure
check.
that no healing. Most healing spells don't work on undead.
Yeah, it has no effect on undead. That is correct.
Yeah, screw you. None of that shit, thank you. I'm not playing a rules lawyer. I'm playing the incredibly pissed
Yeah.
off player.
Well, in that case, Bulb is going to cast Produce Flame and hurl it at Ava.
I mean, that's not much better, but
Let me see. That is an 18 to hit. He just manages to hit Ava.
I'm sorry.
And Ava takes 8 points of fire damage. It is now Sir Lucian's turn.
Was bizarre. I'm no longer bound, am I?
No, you can do
No.
what you want.
Oh, ghost bitch, you are going down.
Yep, ghost number 1, go to hit her.
Alright, 3 specters, 1 Sir Lucian. Right attack. Ghost 1. Oh, that is a 19.
19 plus 11, that is 30. That is a hit. Roll your damage.
Alright, let's do. It is a 2 plus 8, that's a 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage, lovely. Go in for your next attack.
And the second attack. 11, 8, that's 19. Yep, that's a hit. What's DC?
Yeah, that's a hit. Go ahead, roll for damage.
Alright. Damage is, that's 8 points of damage. So 16.
16, okay. 16, not bad. It is now Bobbitt's turn as you force yourself through the trapdoor and see this scene before you. See an incredibly withered husk that used to be Bulb preparing to hurl another fireball at Ava, and so Lucian swarmed by ghosts.
Odd question.
Yep.
Can Bobbit tell that Bolt has died?
There's his eyes are lifeless and staring blankly into the distance.
Bobbit immediately goes into Tasha's otherworldly gaze.
Ooh, yeah, that's
Just
yep.
instantly snaps.
Why is Bulb moved? Oh no.
Because
He's
he's been
possessed.
possessed.
Oh, lovely.
His corpse is being possessed.
Do you need my sheet so you know his skills?
Yes, please. He's been
Okay.
he's been throwing produce flames at people.
He tried to heal, but thankfully it doesn't
Yeah, it
work.
doesn't
on
work.
Undead.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is no official lifespan for the elf folk.
Yeah.
I bet you they're gonna have an official lifespan in the candle in the
Yeah.
Feywild module. I bet you it's gonna be like, we're gonna read it, it's gonna be like 200 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, Bobbit takes one look at the situation,
Yeah.
sees Bulb, and just
Goes
does this
into
immediate
Tasha's
just
otherworldly
scream.
guys.
I
Yep.
know it's a waste considering this is my last usage of it, but I don't think she'd care. Because, no.
Alright, so what? Yep, so you've cast otherworldly
So
guys.
that-
I believe that's your
Bob's just-
turn.
No, that's my bonus action.
Oh yeah, that's
so
your
I now have
bonus
2
action.
turns.
That's right. Yes. So go ahead. What would you like to do?
Well, Bullet's immediately just going to raise their hand, basically pull out the wand of magic missiles and immediately fire at 6th level, pretty much at everything within striking distance. So there's 4 targets, I get 11 missiles, so how does that work math-wise? 4, 6, 8. Alright, so who was the one that actually killed him? I'm not going to know. but
It was
just out of
Ghost. It
curiosity.
was Ghost 1, but you wouldn't know.
Well, either way, just Ghost in general, Bobbit's not a fan of, so... let's see. Ghost 1, Spectre 2, Spectre 3 can have 3 missiles each, and Spectre 4 can have 2.
Yep. Very well. Go ahead and please roll the
So
damage.
I have to roll all that separately, aren't I? God damn. D4s for that. This is going to take up a minute, because normally I just fire these all at once.
I just sent you a link to the
Thank you.
to my sheet and also
Yeah.
to the creature that I want to
Yeah.
do because I'm doing that.
I've-
Is that the one that we were using?
I believe there's an official one. Let me just check.
Oh, okay. I'll look up official.
I'm sure there was. Apparently not. Apparently you can't. Okay, so that one. Yeah, I'll let you use that one.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, so
Well, I'm still working through my my rolls here. Ignore the second one because that's technically it's meant to be 3 each and 1. I don't know. Matt's kind of annoyed right now. Well, what Bolt to die? Bolt loves Bolt.
well, it's unfortunate, but
Let's just see what the 3's on. So 3, 3. split that 44 and a half because I forgot that's meant to be 2, so it's meant to be 3
Yep.
and 6.
Yep, so which
Yeah.
which enemies are taking which damage?
So Ghost 1's going to take the 14.
Yep.
We'll say Spectre 2 can have the 9, and the other 2 can have 6 each.
Yep, lovely. Okay, and you get another turn.
I do have another turn. Bullet is going to Eldritch Blast Ghost 1.
Yep.
And yeah, no, she's pissed because that's a nat goddamn 20 for the first one.
Yeah, ooh, nice. Go ahead, roll your damage.
Oh, I still have to roll the other.
Oh yeah,
the
you
other
have to
one
do
as
the other
well.
one
And
too.
then 23 for the second one. Okay, so the nat 20 is going to be 24 points of force damage. Is it
Yep.
still up? Is it still up after that?
How much?
23. Sorry, 24.
23. It is still up,
Ah.
so go ahead for your second.
So 24 after taking 14. It's still up.
Oh, and yeah, no, actually, Ghost 1 shrieks as she vanishes into a plume of smoke.
And I guess I'll throw the second one that's a hit at Spectre 3 since that's the closest.
Yep,
And that's going to be 11 points of force damage on top of
11 points of... Yep,
of
and-
we took 6 before.
yep. Whoosh, Spectre 3 disappears.
And Bullet, just because I know talking's a bonus action, is just going to stare at the whatever's possessing Bulb, and you just hear very strangled, "Get out!"
It is now the enemy's turn. Possessed Bulb walks up towards Bobbit and casts a 4th level Scorching Ray.
Why would you do that?
Because it's possessed. Okay, we're going to make a ranged spell attack for each ray. How many are we getting? We're getting 5 rays, so 5d20. Okay, so the first one is...
You have to beat 19, by the way.
The first one is a 13. The second one is a 20, so that hits.
Yeah.
The third one
Actually,
is...
wait, no, that's
Yep.
fire damage, so it doesn't work. I'm
Oh,
gonna
it
put the fire
doesn't.
in the score.
Yep, well that's...
So you can roll whatever you
Yeah.
want. They just slam it at Bobbit, and
That's
Bobbit
okay.
just somehow looks even more pissed than she already
Yeah,
was.
that's okay. The ghost wouldn't know this, so it just sends
Yeah.
Scorching Ray, and they all hit demonic Tasha's form Bobbit and just fizzle
Bobbit's
away as
just-
they touch
yeah.
her skin.
Bobbit's just staring daggers at this thing.
Spectre 2 floats away from Sir Lucian, drawing an attack of opportunity as it swoops towards Bobbit. Sir Lucian, roll to hit it.
That's definitely a pass.
Yep,
Team
go,
11.
go ahead, roll your damage.
That is 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. You slash at it as it rushes past you and dispel it, turning it into wisps of spectral energy. Spectre number 4 attacks Sir Lucian with its life drain, and that is going to be a 6 to hit. Sir Lucian deftly blocks it. It's Ava's turn. She declares Spectre 4 her favoured foe, and then moves into attack. Gets a nat 20, hits it for 10 points of damage, attacks again, deals 6 points of damage, and then with her bonus favoured foe damage, deals an additional 3 damage and dispels Spectre 4 into wisps of energy. It is Zinhorn's turn. Zinhorn, you force yourself out of the trap door and find yourself in a room where everyone is just gathered around Bulb as he wildly looks left and right, searching for the next target to attack.
Okay. I noticed that Orbix has gone otherworldly.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you probably could put 2 and 2 together and go, what?
Would Zinhorn know this?
Yeah, Zinhorn, you could tell something has gone terribly wrong. Bulb is looking withered and old, his eyes lifeless, and as he tries to attack people, he just moves like he's a zombie or something. Just his movements are lazy and stiff, and Bobbert appears to be incredibly angry, and so does Ava.
Okay, in that case, going to do a frostbite cantrip.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make a con 16 save.
Yep, on Bulb, he's going to attempt to make a con 16 save. He rolled a 13.
Alright, so gets 9 points of cold damage and has disadvantage on the next weapon attack.
Yep. As you hit it with cold energy, Bulb's lifeless body face plants on the concrete, and ghost number 2 is forced out. It is Sir Lucian's turn.
Smile and charge.
Ah, for Bulb! Roll to hit ghost number 2.
Alright, rolling to hit. What's to hit?
Yep, to hit. 11.
What's-
You need
what's
11
the-
to hit her.
Oh, beautiful. Got 12.
Lovely. Okay, roll your damage.
That is 14 points of damage.
Lovely. Would you like to go in for another attack?
Oh, I would love to. That is it's banana day. That is an
Now-
R1.
Yep. And with rage, you swing at ghost number 2 and curse whoever felt this was an appropriate moment to leave a banana peel in your path as you tumble past ghost number 2 and slam into the wall, still raging. It is now Ava's turn. Actually, no, it is Bobbitt's turn.
Yeah, so this thing is out in the open now.
Yes, it
obviously.
is.
Cool. You can have 4 Eldritch Blasts in your general direction, dear friend.
Go ahead, roll for them.
Okay, so we have 23, 25, 16, and 17.
They all hit. Go ahead, roll damage.
1, 5, 11, 16, plus 3 is 27 points of force damage. There's another just shriek from across the room as
Yep.
these massive blasts just pound into it.
27 points of force damage combined with the damage Sir Lucian dealt. You send Ghost 2 flying back towards the stone doors. As soon as it hits them, it breaks apart into pieces of ectoplasm that rain down across the entrance hallway. And with that, combat is over.
Bobbit is going to go over, immediately cradle Bulb in her arms, and just break down in tears as the otherworldly guise just falls apart around her.
You cradle Bulb's lifeless, withered corpse in your hand, and as
And
the otherworldly guise falls away, your tears drop down onto his withered face. At first, red tears of blood, and as the otherworldly guise fades away, it turns into a torrent of salty tears from a weeping little girl facing true despair as she has lost a great friend.
Zinhorn wants to go over and just do a medicine check just to make sure.
Yep, go ahead and do a medicine check, please.
It is 17 plus 5, so it's 22.
22. Yeah, you look at Bulb and the pallor of his skin is grey, leathery. His feathers, those that remain, have turned almost pure white, and it looks as if It looks as if he suddenly aged several decades in an instant. And as you just silently hang around his corpse, Ava comes up and she kneels down and places the tip of her beak against Bulb's face and just taps him, a sort of kissing motion between two bird folk. Then she just turns away and walks to the stone door, still holding her weapons. And without looking at you, she just says in a terse tone, "Let's get this over with. Let's make sure this was worth it."
It's still just holding on to him. She, honestly doesn't know what to do at this point. Last time.
Take some feathers.
I mean, the last time he died, it was just instant. There was nothing she could do. This time, I mean, there was still nothing she could do, but he's still here. What do we even...
Yeah, got disintegrated last time, but...
What do we even do? What's the point of all this if we can't even save the people that are closest to us?
I hate to say, but I go to Bobbert and say, does that guy have anything? Can he have any input? The sticky guy?
You look over at Mr. Stick, and Mr. Stick just says, "Well, you're still alive. That's all that counts."
Bullet just throws Mr. Stick as hard as she can away from her.
You hurl Mr. Stick, and as he flies towards the stone wall and hits it and clatters to the ground, you just hear his voice in your head whispering, now, there's no need for such childlike antics."
Shut up and leave me alone.
I will save my inventory sheet and send it in
Yes.
Discord.
Yes, because everyone will be taking the items with them.
We kind of have to, considering he was the one
Yeah.
holding the cube, so we kind of have to.
Yeah.
Jinhon just sits there and just druid craft flower after flower.
Here we
You sit-
go.
You sit
I
honouring...
haven't put cubes. I haven't put cubes in a spot, but I have plenty of spots to put
Yeah,
them. So.
that would have been in.
No.
You all sit around honouring Bulb for the better part of an hour, until finally you remember that you're in the middle of one of the puzzle shrines, and that time is counting down. This is not an ideal place to leave Bulb, but
No, Bobbitt's actually going to. She has enough room. She's going to actually pick him up, and since he's small enough, she's going to actually put him inside
the bag
coat.
of hold inside her
Yeah,
coat.
and
Yep.
she's basically just going to, as she picks her up, and just go, "We can't leave him here."
Ava just looks over and she says, "This isn't a suitable resting place."
Fine, Bull will slowly go over and retrieve Mr. Stick very reluctantly.
Pick up
So now
Mr.
that-
You pick up Mr. Stick, and you half expect him to give you some glib remark, but as you wrap your hands around him and hoist him over your shoulder, he says nothing.
So I've got these 6 alcove things with. You said there was keys in there? Or?
Yes, 6 iron keys, 1 in each alcove. Additionally, there is a pedestal in the middle of the room that has a keyhole set into its base.
Can Zinhon get a closer look at the keyhole?
Yep. Please make an investigate check.
That is a 17 for investigate.
You determine that the keyhole at the base of the pedestal is of a rather complicated design, and you've never seen a key that would seem to fit this design. Furthermore, as you look around and examine the 6 keys in the alcoves, you can tell almost immediately that although these keys are all roughly the same size, none of them are of the right pattern to fit in this keyhole.
Is there any writing in the room?
You look around, and at the base of the flail snail statue, there is the same phrase in Tabaxi that was written outside. Unk urges us to consider all options before proceeding.
Dale, could
Yep.
you just send me in the chat what my guy's name was again, if you can remember?
Yes,
Because I've forgotten.
I just have to look it up. Give me a sec.
Yeah, thank you.
Quick question, just while we're discussing keys and whatnot, I have, I believe, somewhere in my stupid inventory, I believe I picked up a mysterious key at a mystery key at one point.
You did.
Could I use that on the middle statue
Yes, you
thing?
can, but keep in mind it would because it has a 10% chance of fitting any locks. It's only 10%.
I mean, better than nothing.
Would you like to try that?
Unless anyone else has any other ideas.
Other than going back and checking the other little room and
Well,
investigating
You
that.
feel that there must be something significant about the 6 keys in this room.
Yeah, obviously.
So, Remy, your character's name is coming up. I'll just send it to you.
Thank you.
Because I now have it.
Thank you.
Okay, so what would you go? So, Bobbert, would you like to try the magical key?
Maybe check the other room out there. I'm guessing we have to check the other room that was outside, even though there's, oh god, there's still those fucking snails out there.
Yeah, there is still the snails out there, but you could also attempt to pick the lock with your thieves' tools.
True, but wouldn't that go against the whole, you know...
It would, but you might be able to pick the lock anyway.
Screw it, I don't want to be in this place anymore anyway.
Yep, so you just gotta head up, use the thieves' tools.
Yeah.
Alright, please make a thieves' tools check.
That's a 19 plus 3.
19 plus 3, that is 20...
2.
That 22. You jiggle the thieves' tools around, and you're just short of the DC 25 required to unlock it. However, you did not fail the check by 5 or more. So while you are unable to unlock it, you do not trigger any traps.
So, with the 6 keys in the room,
Yep.
are they just like on a like?
Yeah, they're just hanging on hooks. You can take them off
Hanging on
and
hooks.
hold them in your hands.
Yeah, so almost to grab 2 of the keys and
Yep.
just get it, see if there's anything you can do anything with them.
So Zinhorn, you take 2 of the keys. I would like you to please make an intelligence check.
13.
13. You notice that the 2 keys are almost exactly the same size. And on a whim, you place one key on top of the other, and notice that when the 2 keys are laid on top of one another, their teeth combine.
Did you just Resident Evil Village us?
Yes, but it was already in the module. Technically,
Yeah,
Resident Evil
yeah.
Village stole this puzzle.
Huh. Okay.
So goes and grabs the other 4 keys.
Yep. You grab the other 4 keys and stack them up on top of each other, making sure you show Bobbert and Sir Lucian. And once they're laid on top of each other, they form a pattern that is roughly the same shape as the keyhole, but, of course, there's 6 keys stacked on top of each other, so there's no way that this will fit in the keyhole.
Wait for all the keys together.
Maybe. Or there might be a key that has... Now that you know what design you're looking for, you may be able to find a key that has that design.
I don't know.
And there's a flail snail statue in the middle.
Yes. Would you like to examine that?
Yes.
Please make an investigation check.
That is an 18.
The flail snail statue, or as you determine it to be, a statue of Unk, appears at first to be just nothing but an ordinary statue, but when you examine it, you notice there are several mechanisms at the base of its tentacles, obviously some type of trap. What would you like to do?
Bobbert, are you good with this getting rid of traps?
Bobbert's gonna, without saying anything, try to... The problem is we don't really want to fiddle with this shit in case we set it off by accident. Like, I got lucky with the statue before, but... Can, like, Bobbert investigate to see how well she got it?
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigate check, please, Bobbert.
It's a... What was my investigation? +4. Yeah, it's an 18.
Wiping away tears, you peer into the lock, and you can see the mechanism that triggers the trap and the mechanism that triggers the pedestal to open up. And you realise you were about 1.5 centimeters away from hitting either of these mechanisms. And so if you would like to attempt another Thieves' Tools check, you may do it with advantage, but any failure this time will trigger the trap.
In that case, Bobbert's probably just going to look at the Zinhorn and just sort of shake her head at it. Because I don't think I can mess with this.
So Zinhorn, knowing that Bobbert is unwilling to try to pick the lock again, what would you like to do?
Did Bob have a proper look at the keys, or did he just see the keys?
He just saw the
workshop?
keys, he didn't go up and examine them one by one, no. But he could tell that once he conjured that orb with Druidcraft, he was able to tell, and he told you this, that each of the keys did appear to have a different design for its teeth. It's just that there were so many of them, and there was no way to know which one would have been the right key.
Zinhorn's going to go back out the trap.
Yep.
And go around and inspect the keys in the workshop.
You leave Bobbert and Sir Lucian behind, and you dive back down through the water, emerging outside the shrine. And then, are you going to use your elf ability to stealthily make your way to the little workshop again?
Yes.
Sure. Slowly, carefully move past the disturbed patches of earth and arrive at the ruined, key-filled workshop. Please make an investigation check with advantage.
That is a 16.
Holding the 6 stacked keys in front of you, You quickly sweep across the walls, comparing this bundle of keys to the keys that hang on the hooks. And after about 15 minutes of searching, you find a rusted iron key that has the same design.
I take that key.
You take that key, you make your way carefully back to the pool, dive under the water, and emerge next to Bobbert. And as Bobbert and Sir Lucian watch, you insert the key into the lock and turn it. And with a click, the top of the pedestal pops open, revealing Unk's puzzle cube.
I take it and pop it into where the other keys are.
Yep.
The other cubes are.
And with that, as you silently put the cube away, you all turn away, make your way through the pond of water, and silently, without talking, without speaking a word, make your way back out into the city proper. Map of Omu coming up. Okay, you have the next puzzle cube. What would you like to do?
Oh, it wants to go home.
Yeah.
Oh, it hates this place. It sucks.
Poor Bobbert. But Bulb did not die in vain, and you are one step closer to ending the death curse. Meaning that Bulb is not gone forever.
Yeah,
Step-
but
Yeah, but he's still gone for now, yes. But you step back out into the crumbling streets of Omu, and the sun is already high in the sky. It's early afternoon now. What would have only taken about an hour to solve has drawn on much longer, thanks to the impromptu service you gave to Bulb and the reluctance to continue your quest, even though you know Bulb would want you to press on.
still say it was worth it. As long as you're having a good fucking time over there, buddy.
Well, he gets to play the character. He gets to play the character that he was going to play in the run village.
So we haven't done Alalaka's shrine.
Haven't done Obalaka's. Jin's shrine has been ransacked. The King of Feathers in the amphitheater, you're not sure about.
Just heard noises coming from that direction.
Papa Zoddle's shrine, you're not sure about, but the wizards did move past it. And Nang Nang's shrine, you're unsure because Bulb's shrubs did not make it back.
So we could probably
We've also got Tabaxi Spot 1 that we can have
Which is on the way, yes.
on the way to Abalaka's.
we could head in that direction.
I feel like that's probably our
Yeah,
next best.
Yeah, it's the direct route, and we're sort of running.
Just
daylight, so
since we know the top half is sort of being done.
We may as well go to Obalaka's shrine in that case.
Yeah.
So as you make your way down towards Obalaka's shrine, keeping an eye out for the spot that bag of bones marked on his map as he rattles along behind you, seemingly unfazed by Bulb's death, no hint of emotion on his skeletal face at all. I would like everyone to make a perception check, please.
Bulb is not paying attention at the moment.
21.
21. Sir Lucian.
Perception. I got 11.
11. Yeah, so only Zinhorn hears. Somewhere off to the north, in the distance, you hear a great dinosaur roar, and Shortly after the roar subsides, you hear the sounds of men and women shouting, and the sounds of explosions, and subtly you feel the earth shake beneath your feet.
Oh, out of character, I'd say. I guess that means those boys found the King of Feathers.
Yeah, well, that's what Zinhorn can guess.
Yeah. Would,
She's so preoccupied.
However, you don't know if these sounds indicate that they are victorious or whether they're winning the battle. You just know that it appears that they've decided to take on the King of Feathers.
would going back to the legend, would Zinhorn know what a Zorbo is?
Make a nature check, please.
16.
Okay, so as you walk through the crumbling city, you try to recall all knowledge of Zorbos, and you remember reading of them. Perhaps you've even seen one in your many years living in the wilderness in Cholt. Zorbos were small carnivorous creatures native to the jungles of Cholt. They're typically around 3 feet tall and covered in grey fur. They had sharp teeth as well as sharp claws on both hands and feet. They typically wait in tree branches for their prey to walk past and then drop onto their heads from above. In the far-off eastern world of Shaolung, you recall Bulb getting excited about the fact that a variety of Zorbo that resembles panda bears was known. And you all breathe a sigh of sadness.
And I relate this to the group, saying we need to make sure we're keeping our eyes on the trees as we go to Oberlacher's shrine.
Yep. So you're going to stick to the main street where, well, basically the main street, there's just the buildings on either side, and there's a couple of twisted tree branches and vines that sometimes crisscross over the street from rooftop to rooftop. But aside from that, the sky above appears to be free of any dangers.
Do we want to check out the tabaxi spot or just go straight to the shrine?
It's entirely up to you.
What is unresponsive?
Well, you're passing by it, so you may as well check it out.
Yeah. Okay.
So you keep an eye on the map for the building that was marked by Bag of Bones, and indeed, as you approach it, you see Bag of Bones stop walking, and it's almost like there's some hint of a memory from his previous life still in his head, as he stops, turns around, and stares forlorn at a building groaning under a huge variety of plant life of all different breeds and colours. It's amazing that it's still standing, just sitting there on the edge of the street. This was apparently some sort of greenhouse. The ceiling is 30 feet high and contains a partially shattered glass dome. And you could see thick tree trunks, large flowers, and various vines snaking out of the hole in the glass dome.
You know who would have really loved a greenhouse?
That's why I put it in.
Fuck you!
That's why I put it in. I assumed Bulb would be here for it. The door is jammed shut, but it's warped under the weight of several plants and should take little effort to break down if you would wish to do so.
Yeah, I guess so.
Alright, please make an athletics check.
That is a 14.
A 14, and with a great shout, you swing your weapon at the door, smashing it into matchwood, and lead everyone inside the greenhouse. Inside, the floor has a foot of water covering it. The ancient plants in here are overgrown, and collectively, it looks like a miniature, exotic jungle. There are 3 things of note in the greenhouse that you can see. There is a 3-foot-tall plant a short distance from the entrance, shaped quite like a vase. A short distance into the greenhouse, sprouting out of the water, are a number of 5-foot-tall roses that have shining prismatic colours. And towards the very back of the greenhouse, half submerged in the water, are 2 skeletons. From the eye socket of each skull grows a vine, and as you enter the greenhouse, the two vines grow erect like snakes, and the tips of them quiver and wave back and forth, almost as if they are greeting you.
None of us know how to talk to plants.
Zinhorn is going to cast Detect Magic.
Yep. You cast Detect Magic and look for the telltale signs of magic in the ruined greenhouse, and you determine that there is an aura of druidic magic emanating from the 2 skeletons and the quivering vines that grow from their eye sockets. What would you like to do?
That's the only magic I detect.
That's the only magic you can detect in here.
Druidic.
Honestly, I don't know. I can speak to plants, so I get up there.
Well, you don't know if you need to speak with plants to speak to them. Would you like to examine anything in the greenhouse, or without Bulb, would you just like to leave?
Zinhorn firstly just wants to do a bit of drill craft, sort of in the direction of where the vines are.
Yep.
Just to see if that does anything.
So you're gonna send a nice fragrance in their direction, or a gust of wind, or Sorry, Smithy, you'll have to speak again.
Sorry, I'm just reading what I can.
Oh, what you can do with Druidcraft, yes.
Yeah. Do just do a puff of wind, just go past around the vines and.
Yep. So you move into the greenhouse and start wading through the water, and as you pass by the prismatic flowers that are growing out of the water, do you pass by near them, or do you make sure you don't go near them?
Give them a bit of a wide berth, because they're sort of standing out.
You notice they're 5 feet tall, and their stems have massive sharp thorns on them. So you lead Bobbit, Sir Lucian, and Ava away from these large roses towards the vines, and then you wave your hand, sending a sensation of a gust of wind towards them. And as it hits them, you notice them slowly wave from left to right, and then a voice in your head says, that feels nice. Yes, it's been a while since I felt some nice wind.
Hello? Who said that?
Hello, yes, says the voice. Please, if you're responsible for that wind, please give us more. Yeah, we love the wind, we love the sunlight, and we've, to be frank, been quite craving it of late.
I do another puff.
The two vines jiggle as if they're having a great time, and the voice in your head becomes really jovial. It says, yes, oh, it's lovely, thank you. Might we know your name?
I am Zinhorn Aloro, druid of the elements. And yours?
Yes, well, I'm Rowan, and this is Argus. We were, gardeners who lived in Omu. How long could it have been now? We have no way to measure time. All we know is that, at some point, our bodies perished, and we now find our minds inhabiting these vines that we spent our lives toiling over.
That's so tragic.
We've been here for so long. How long do you think it is, Argus, good chap? Argus, the vine, waves back and forth and says, well, the only measure of time we've got is the sunlight growing and waning. So if I were to count, it's at least been, let's say, 30 periods of sunlight times by carry the one. Well, let's say it was a bloody long time. I'm a gardener, not a mathematician. You there, Zinhorn, was it? Would you happen to know how long we've been here and why nobody in the city has come to assist us?
Yeah, your very monotone voice coming from Bobbit going, most likely around 200 years.
200 years?
Unfortunately, there is no one else in the city.
By bloody nang nang, says Argus, and then Rowan waves back and forth and says, 200 years, yes, I feared as much. I feared that whatever event forced our minds into these, bodies was responsible for the reason why no one came to our aid. It is needless to say, we've spent all of our time since then persisting as these plants in this greenhouse, waiting for the day when anyone would brave what was left of Omu and discover us and take us from here, but more important, give me some good conversation. You have no idea what it's like spending the last 200 years with this buffoon here. He gestures towards Argus, who seems to take great offense, slapping the other vine with the tip of his plant body and saying, boring, am I? Am I boring, huh? Well, at least I doesn't go on about bloody flowers for days on end.
Do you recall what happened just before you became these two vines?
They think for a moment, jiggling around, and then Argus says, well, it was what, when them snake people or whatever turned up, wasn't it? And then Rowan nods in agreement, the tip of his vine moving up and down, and he says, yes, it started off business as usual, and the Yuan Tea, contingent of them arrived in the city. They brought with them this wizard sort, Rasnasi, they announced his name as. Well, we didn't care, our job is to tend the plants, you know, and, well, last thing we remember is some sort of explosion of magic. Next thing we know, we're coming to, and where now vines are quite unpleasantly growing out of the eye sockets of what I can only presume were our human bodies.
Are you able to see things around here, or do you was only the gust of wind that alerted you to my presence?
See things. No, not in the way that you would imagine. Not with eyes and colours and shapes and the like. We do feel sensations, vibrations, the wind, the lovely, clean refreshment of the water. But every sensation grows dull after 200 years. Please, you found us. Feel free to cut us out of these skeletons and take us with you.
What was it? What was the thing we were looking for? Was the
navel of the moon.
Yeah.
Navel of the moon, says Argus. What's that? And Rowan says, I'm afraid we haven't heard of such a thing. As I said, we were just simple gardeners.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's probably a good chance they're not going to have any idea what they're on about.
But, please, don't turn away just yet. Look, as you can see, we've been here for a long time. We've had a lot of time to get good at grabbing and lifting things you see. And, well, if you ever have need of a rope that could follow directions and act in concert with you, then please take us along, and we will do our best to grab and lift things for you.
I mean, out of character, I see no reason why not.
No, so before I do anything else, I just want to ask you each, what was your favourite kind of flower?
Oh, I was quite partial to chrysanthemums, wasn't I, Argus? Yes, you're always bloody going on about them. How there's purple ones, and red ones, and yellow ones, and orange ones. Oh, it's all I've bloody heard about the last 200 years. I'm a bit more of a simple man. I like dandelions.
I take a little bit of time, and on one side of the side of the skeletons, I do a range of different chrysanthemum, different colours, and on the other side some dandelions, just pay respects to them, and then I go and try and sort of get them out of the ground. Please let me know if this hurts you at all. Would hate to, after all this time, to hurt you.
Please make a nature check to safely extract them from the skeletons.
Don't mess me up, dice. That is a luckily 19.
19, lovely. Carefully remove both vines, and as soon as you remove them, they begin to wrap around your arms, as if they're using your arms as a branch or something to latch onto, and they both immediately begin to quiver in satisfaction. And Rowan says, yes, thank you so much. We'll do anything you want. All we ask is that you give us adequate sunlight, clean us when we are dirty, and place one of our ends in fresh soil for, let's say, 8 hours a day.
I'm sure we can do that for you. Very much so.
They nod in gratitude and continue wrapping themselves around your arms until both of your arms are covered by the vines, tightly wrapped around your arms as if they are leafy sleeves of a nature tunic. You have befriended the sentient vines. So long as you give them sunlight and have one end placed in fresh soil for at least 8 hours per day, they will act as sentient 50-foot ropes. They can follow the telepathic commands of whoever holds them, in this case you. You may cause them to extend, to grab around something or pull something as a bonus action, and while they would have difficulty wrapping around a moving target, they are superb for climbing and can even lift a creature weighing 200 pounds or less up at a rate of 30 feet per round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any... Yep.
I look to the others and say, with my arms up, shall we?
As you point towards the door of the greenhouse, your vines unravel a bit, and as if expressing how eager they are to once again venture out into the outside world, the tips of them extend and snake through the air towards the door, pointing eagerly outside into the street. So I'm just gonna get the thing for you, Smithy, so you know what they do.
Not what I was expecting walking into there.
Is there anything else you'd like to check out before you leave?
So there was the blooms that were...
Yep, there was the prismatic flowers and the plant shaped like a vase.
I mean, you could probably ask any friends about those ones.
Yeah. Just sort of, because we're walking past them, I see these very different looking plants over here, being the this large one here and the ones with the thorns over there.
Both vines quiver as they silently communicate amongst themselves, and then Argus says, "Oh, don't go near them bloody flowers. That was Rowan's attempt to make big bloody roses. All they'll do is shoot thorns at anyone who goes near."
This is why we check.
Mm-hmm.
And then Argus says, and then Rowan says, "Oh, look, they're not that bad. It's just they've had a few hundred years without anyone to tend them. I'm sure someone, somewhere out there in the world would appreciate a nice flower of that colour and pedigree. As for the plant shaped like a vase, as you describe it, that is a madzi plant. It produces 6 gallons of fresh drinkable water each day, as long as you give it adequate sunlight. Given that you appear to be adventurers, I wouldn't say no to the chance to bring that along."
Actually, yeah, that would probably be a really good idea.
Yeah. So Zinhorn wants to go a bit closer and just sort of inspect to see how it works and if it's able to remove it.
You look at the madzi plant, and it appears to be the flowering stem of some kind of large flower, and the flower itself is in the shape of a vase, the inside of it hollowed out. And as you peer inside, you see that it is full of fresh, clear water. It seems, based on the fact that there are tiny holes at the very bottom of the inside of the flower, that any water it absorbs during the day, most likely ambient moisture in the air, or mist particles, or anything of the like, is absorbed into its body and eventually consolidates in the vase portion of the flower. Please make a nature check to remove it.
Can I use inspiration?
Yes, you can.
Oh, that is much better. That is 15.
You've carefully cut the madzi plant away, and reaching through Bulb's bag, you find a pot of dirt and carefully replant the flower in the pot, and then place it into your own bag, leaving the tip of the bag open so that the end of the flower pokes out so it can receive sunlight. It will take up 1 slot of your inventory. With that, you turn and leave the greenhouse, stepping out once again into the city of Omu. And as you make your way to Obalaka's shrine, I would like somebody to please roll a d20.
Why not? I rolled a 13.
13. As you make your way towards the next shrine, you all hear the sound, you all hear voices coming from around the corner of a nearby structure, speaking in common, barking orders. The Yuan Ti must have passed through here. The entrance to their palace must be somewhere in the vicinity. Dig! Keep digging! And then a female voice saying, "We should have brought more flesh golems. These ones are useless at digging, they're too slow. If only we didn't lose all the damn guides."
Well, we have found more Thay.
Yes, I believe you have. So what would you like to do as you approach the building in question? You peek around it, and standing in an overgrown plaza, you see 2 Red Wizards of Thay, a man and a woman, directing 2 flesh golems to sift through debris, looking for something.
Well, that was good timing, because I just sent my character sheet to Dale.
Lovely, so you'll be able to join into this combat.
Yeah.
Also, as we were leaving the greenhouse, I was talking to my new friends, saying that I do, as I mentioned, I am the Druid of the Elements.
Yep, that all looks good to me, Remy. Yes, Zinhorn?
Which also means I do sometimes produce things like a blade made of fire and things like that, so there's no need to be worried about that. I will not be... I know that plants aren't the best of friends with fire, so I'll be very careful as to not burn you with that.
So long as you don't mistake us for vegetables, we are very much not edible, are we, Arcus? Oh, I don't know. I mean, you'd think that we'd be a bit like some sort of tough lettuce, wouldn't we? No, don't give him any ideas, Arcus.
Well, as long as you are very helpful, I will definitely be not eating you. I do not eat my friends.
So what would you like to do with these Thay? You could see them sifting through, directing their flesh golems to sift through the rubble in an overgrown plaza. They're searching for something, but they do not appear to have noticed you yet. However, if you proceed further in this direction, they likely will.
So, how far away from us are they?
About 30 feet away. They haven't noticed you yet.
And how many of them are there?
2 red wizards and 2 flesh golems. So you don't need to directly cross paths with them. However, if you'd like to continue on to the shrine, you will need to sneak past. Otherwise, you can attempt to engage them in conversation, or if you'd like to just go ahead and attack them.
Mm-hmm.
How far away are they?
About 30 feet.
said.
Yeah, I wish I had catapults still on me.
You don't want to hurl something at them.
Yeah. But I don't
The
know.
150
I can
foot
throw
range.
30 feet even with Bobbitt's strength.
Got a thought.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are we
there
wanting
is an option to attempt to parlay with them, but knowing that the red wizards appear to be immediately hostile.
Yeah.
So it's either sneak
Can I-
past or attack.
Can I metagame real quick?
Yeah.
In Bulb's bag, he has the small jar of poison spores, and he also has that sleep bladder from...
Yes,
The
from the
Thingamabobber.
Kamadans.
Oh,
Yes,
you're right.
but I don't think the others would have had time to sort through Bulb's belongings yet.
That's true, but while they're sitting there thinking
Yeah.
of what to do...
Yeah, that is an option.
I could do.
And M2 will be right back, apparently.
Yep. So what would you like to do? Okay.
Sing, apparently.
Yeah. As you decide, you just watch them, and the flesh golems are slowly lifting up portions of debris and moving aside the collapsed remnants of buildings. And each time they do so, the Red Wizards walk over and briefly examine what the flesh golems found, evidently deciding that it isn't worth anything, and quickly directing them to other spots.
So the Red Wizards are closer to us than the Flesh Golems?
The flesh golems are closer, but they still haven't seen you.
Okay.
In fact, I'll bring up the battle map just so you know exactly where you are in relation
Yeah,
to
that
them.
might help.
Okay, I'm back. How we doing?
Still deciding what you want to do with these Red Wizards.
Yeah.
So Zinhorn will probably go off to the side, Mask of the Wild style, and just sort of disappear.
Yep. Because you surprising them is an option if you could stealthily, get up to them in time.
Yeah.
They're preoccupied, like, looking down, right?
Yeah.
Well, every time one of the flesh golems moves aside a piece of debris or breaks down what's left of a wall, they go up and briefly examine it for a few moments. So their attention is definitely on what their flesh golems are doing.
So Zinhorn is going to, when they sort of, like the wizards come right up next to where the golems are, he is going to unleash a tidal wave just straight through the area.
I
Alright.
was gonna say, as he's prepping to do that, Bobbit is actually gonna activate her helicopter thing, because I'm guessing from this far away it's gonna be quiet enough that she can get in the air before...
Yeah, you
they
can.
notice.
Okay. So Bobbit's going to... Is there anywhere in specific you would like to fly, Bobbit?
Like, would I be able to get over the top of them without them noticing me? If I fly up like 60 feet in the air and then...
You could probably
Fly
get
over.
about here, so about halfway through the plaza, in the time you have.
Before Zinhorn goes and gasses them, I guess. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yep. So Ava sees what you're doing, and she opens her wings and flies up next to you. And then Zinhorn holds out his hands and blasts them with a tidal wave. So Zinhorn, they need to make dex saves, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, I'll have them make that. Flesh Golem
That one.
and Red Wizard. Okay, so the two Flesh Golems, they both fail with a 2 and 11. And the two Red Wizards get a 17 and a 16, respectively.
And the surprise doesn't do anything?
No, they still just do it as normal, but you're going to get a surprise round.
Okay. So I've got 8 and 6 is 14, and another 6 is 20, and 2 is 22 points of damage.
Yep, and 11 to the Red Wizards. Very
And
well.
the two the golems are knocked prone.
Yep, they're knocked prone. Lovely. Sorry, just bear with me because I'm getting a token for Rem's new character. There we go. He's a golden one. Okay. Alright, so as you blast them with the tidal wave and water floods the plaza, I would like everyone, including Rem, to please roll for initiative.
17.
17,
21.
21,
12.
12, and Sir
Wow.
Lucian,
8.
8. Okay, so that was, I believe, in that case, the first surprise round begins, and Rem's new character gets to go first.
Wait.
Oh wait, no, it was
didn't you
Bobbit,
say
wasn't
this
it?
didn't be? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Bobbit. Sorry, Bobbit, you get to go first. Sorry.
Okay, well, I'm just so
Trying to do
Fletch
multiple
golems are
things
picking
at once.
themselves-
That's
Yeah.
also
No, that's
upsetting.
fair. That's fair. There's a lot going on. It's understandable. So the flesh golems are still picking themselves up, aren't they?
Or they're on the
Yeah,
ground.
they're
Yeah.
prone.
Yeah. Okay, so Bullet is going to fly up over pretty much directly in between all four of them and basically reach up to her neck, pick out 3 beads of a fireball necklace and drop them directly in the middle of the group.
3 of them. Okay, very well. Beads.
So that's going to be a 6th level
Fireball.
6th
Yep,
level
go ahead and
fireball.
I'm going to roll the
Oh,
6th
yeah.
level fireball. As you hurl the beads, both Red Wizards
I
wave.
feel like they drop them, but
Yeah, as they notice the beads dropping down out of the air, both Red Wizards raise their hands, well, doing it one at a time. The first one casts Counter Spell. It is going to attempt to make a DC 16 Intelligence check. That is a 14. The second
Good.
wizard raises her hand, also casts Counter Spell,
Oh, please fail.
and that is a 17. All 3 of your beads hit the ground, and as they hit the ground, they fizzle into tiny embers of flame that quickly dissipate into the air.
Wait, all 3 of them failed?
Well, it just counts as one spell, doesn't it? So it's a 6th level
son of
fireball.
a
Yeah.
Bitch.
It is now, I believe, Rourke's turn. Rourke, would you like to describe how you enter the battle and what you do?
You see this, I believe he was an orange grung.
An orange
but-
grung, yep, but I can only
Yep.
find
Yeah, that's fine.
yellow one.
You see an orange grung using a mace as a walking stick. Slowly walk out of the bushes and go, enemies of yours are enemies of mine, I think. And he casts a 2nd level guiding bolt at Red Wizard 1.
Yep, okay, make a...
And that is a spell attack.
Yep,
Oh, shit. That's not a good first roll. Unfortunately, that's a 13.
that's a 13, it
Oh,
hits.
God.
These Red Wizards were not prepared, they don't have mage armor up, so AC's only 12.
Good. So that's 5d6 radiant damage.
Ooh, go ahead and please roll that.
That's 3, that's 4, that's 5. That's a decent roll. 8, 14, 20, 23 radiant damage. And the next attack on Red Wizard 1 gets advantage.
Yep,
And can I see if anyone's hurt?
I think only Sir Lucian is. But, yeah, I think only Sir Lucian is hurt.
Okay. I accidentally put all those in
22
wrong.
points down he is from the previous fight.
Okay, I then
26 from the last one.
Yep, 26 from the last one, yes.
cast Healing Word at third level, which is 3d4, which is also really fucking good. 8, 11 plus 4, 15 HP for Sir Lucian.
Cheers.
There you go. So you look at this new arrival, this Grung, and for a second you're unsure of what's going on, but then you all recognize him as Rourke, the Grung shaman and the new leader of Dungrunglung, who declared you his greatest friends after you helped him expel the evil Grung tribe in the false service to Nang Nang. He just looks at you all, and with a smug smile on his face, he taps his mace walking stick on the cobblestone, and he says, "Told you were friends, I did. Been following this whole time, I have. Decide now is time to help, I did."
Yes.
It is Sir Lucian's turn.
Alrighty. I might just have to look to charge in. Can I just charge into Flesh Golem?
Yep.
Alright.
Flesh Golem 1,
Enough.
very well. They are prone. 10, 20, 25, 30. You can only throw a javelin from here, but Flesh Golem is prone, so you get to throw your javelin with it. You get to throw your hand axe with advantage.
Alright, I'll do that. 2 hand axes.
Yep, alright, go ahead, roll to hit.
Alright, that is 11.
Yep, that's a hit.
Alright. DC 6, isn't it? That's not DC.
Yep, 6 plus your
that
strength
is-
mod.
That's 2, 4, that's 6 points.
6 points, yep, go ahead, hurl another one.
Alright. That is 12.
12. Okay, not bad. Is a hit, roll your damage. They only have an AC of 9.
Right, and that's another 7 points of damage.
7, not bad, not bad. Okay, it is Zinhorn's turn.
Okay. So Zinhorn is going to appear around the side over here.
Yep.
So sort of trying to keep into this
Use your
area.
Mask of the Wild, you move from one tree to another, and now have a direct line of sight on the Red Wizards of Flesh Golems.
So
Pretty
while
much it.
he's playing on his turn, though, Bobbitt's actually sort of like directly in between all of these guys, just 60 feet up in the air at the moment.
Yep. Oh yeah, you've moved all the way up on your turn. Yep, so
Yeah.
like, yeah.
So
That was the only thing I could do on my turn, unfortunately.
Yeah, because they do have counter spells, but that's one spell slot each that they're placed in now, so...
Oh, I know.
Zinhorn is going to concentrate and call lightning down in a 60-foot area. Like,
One.
so if I can get the...
Yep, deck saves from them. Let's see...
So would that do more damage since there's like still water on the ground from the tidal wave? Just getting
I'm just making them roll with disadvantage. So that is
That's
a
fair.
6, a 6 and a 6 for the flesh golems, and okay. One of the red wizards raises his hand, and what level is Call Lightning?
3rd level.
He casts counter spell and immediately counters it.
Wait. Have they not already used their action? The reaction
Oh wait,
to-
yeah, sorry, they have.
they
yes,
did,
sorry,
yeah,
I
they
did.
wasted it already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's
so
fine.
they can't do shit.
I forgot. Sorry.
They can't do shit.
That is a 9 and a 3, so everyone failed the save.
Yay!
Alright.
Oh, that is a 10, an 8, and a 9. Yes!
Oh dear lord.
Oh.
Jesus.
27.
Yeah,
I'm not messing about right now. So, yeah, 10, 8, 9 is 20, 27?
Yep, 27.
Yes.
Okay, it is now Bobbitt's turn again. This
And
is
then,
gonna-
yeah, good
Yep.
bonus back into the...
Back into-
back into the...
back into the ruins. Yep,
yeah.
you
Okay.
disappear back into the foliage. It's now Bobbitt's turn, and it is the normal round.
Yeah, well, we're already annoyed with how the day's going, and now we're exceedingly annoyed that, the fireball beads, which I try to keep stock of, have been wasted for nothing on these assholes. Who is the one that successfully countered,
It was Red Wizard 2 who successfully countered.
Okay. Bobbit is going to get within about within Burning Hands distance of these assholes and immediately just launch Burning Hands directly at Red Wizard 2 and Flesh Golem 2.
Yep, they are going to make
Just
their
a-
saves.
Just an otherworldly scream because Bobbit has just had enough of this entire day.
Flesh Golem got 12, and the Red
Nope.
Wizard got 17.
Crap, was the same? I guess it's made it. Yeah, Wizard made it. Flesh Golem, not so much. So, this is still half, so it's going to be third level, so it's 5d6. That is going to be 22 for the Flesh Golem and 11 for the Wizard.
Lovely. The Flesh Golem has fire aversion. It has taken damage
Oh.
from fire, and so it has disadvantage on its attack rolls and ability checks until the end of its next turn, as it roils in pain from the fire and tries desperately to get away as the flames lick at it.
Yeah, so
Did we lose Bag of Bones somewhere?
We
Oh, he's
forgot
still
to put
here
him on
somewhere,
here,
but-
and he
Yeah.
does... Yeah, I forgot to put him on. And he does get to act on this initiative round.
yeah. Well, Bobbit is immediately going to fly back up using the remaining. Yeah.
Yep. So Bag of
Moved down to
Bones...
45, so I'm about 30 feet up in the air now.
Bag of Bones raises his blade, and as his bones rattle, he rushes over to Flesh Golem 2, who is prone, and he goes in for an attack with advantage. And that is a 19 to hit, so the Golem takes 8 points of piercing damage from your skeleton sword.
Yeah. So on the back of Bobbit's munch makes another fire thing, but for obvious reasons that's
Yeah.
not being thought about right now.
It is now the enemy's turn. Red Wizard 2 looks up at Bobbit and pointing his hand directly up above him, he casts Cone of Cold
This is going to hurt.
right up in the air. So Bobbit, please make a con save.
Oh dear, that's con save. I'll take anything extra for the con save. I'm thinking of just 4 plus 3. That's a 15.
That is a pass. You take 16 points of cold damage as the cold air blasts you from his outreached hands.
I don't want to hurt myself or screw myself over, but I do have to ask, do I have to roll anything to make sure my heli pack keeps going?
No, you don't. You don't. It's only when the
neat.
spell runs out.
Well, that's handy, because that would have been a real
Yeah.
problem otherwise.
You are fine.
Well,
And
no, she's really not, but...
and then Red Wizard 1 decides to raise her hand as it crackles with flame and hurls a fireball at Ava and Rourke. I need Rourke to please make a dex save, please.
2.
2.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, good. We could lose 2 characters in one
We're
day.
not going to.
You
Okay.
said we weren't going to lose anyone today. How
I
wrong
didn't
were you?
think we would. Okay.
I take nothing you say to chance.
Ava also fails, so Rourke and Ava take 30 points of fire damage. Flesh Golem 2 climbs to its feet, no longer prone, and it makes its multi-attack, its first one at Bag of Bones with disadvantage. And that is a 7. It fails to hit Bag of Bones. It swings again. And that is an 11. It fails to hit Bag of Bones, who's definitely dodging even his undead state.
This is just a very slow lumbering fight between two undead creatures. Just.
Flesh Golem 1 climbs to its feet and it lumbers over to Sir Lucian and it makes its multi-attack. The first one is a 22, which does not hit. Sir Lucian definitely blocks it. The second one is a nat 20.
Oh, that's.
Sir Lucian takes 25 points of bludgeoning damage.
God! Stop that!
No. Oh.
Unless he wants to use his armor to
Yeah, unless
nullify
you wanna nullify it, in which case it'll go down to 12 points of damage.
I would say do that, please.
Can nullify?
With your
Yeah,
adamantine
yeah.
armor, yes, you can nullify one
yeah.
You can nullify one critical hit
I need all the help.
per encounter.
I'll
Yeah.
bring down my half.
Yep, very well. Okay.
Oh, also, sorry, I forgot with my class ability. So listen, you also gained another 5 health when I actually healed you.
Ah, okay.
So
Yep.
it was
Yeah.
whatever
So
I healed him and then plus 5, so just add 5 to your health now.
yeah, just add 5 to your health. Okay, it is
That's
Rourke's turn.
Okie dokie. Shit.
If you're looking for healing, Volo took a massive hit just now. Oh, I suppose everyone did, technically.
Yeah. Oh, I just need to look at what this spell is. Whether it's a bonus or an action. No, that's an action. Don't worry. Nuisance, you are being, I think. And I point at Red Wizard 1 and mutter under my breath the verbal component for banishment.
Ooh, nice. Going to attempt to banish him entirely. Or her. I forget which one was the man and which one was the woman.
Yeah.
It matters. They dial the same.
Yep, he's going to make a charisma save.
Yeah, and he needs to beat a 15.
He got a 14.
Okay.
She
shit,
she looks at you with sheer terror written on her face, and then she begins to squirm almost as if something invisible is pulling at her, and with a blood-curdling scream, her body seems to fold in upon itself, and with a pop, she disappears.
So for 1 minute, that is concentration. So after I cast my next spell, I will be going behind a wall.
Yep.
Then I cast Healing Word at 3rd level on Bobbit.
Red Wizard 2 raises his hand and casts Counterspell on your healing.
Oh,
word.
you dick! Who cares? Who cares? Spells a healing spell, you bastards.
But yes, then I walk behind the wall up
Yep.
here.
Up. Yep.
That
Stand
is
behind
behind
the
the
wall.
wall, Yep.
Getting her for when if she does come back.
So we now have 1 minute we have without that wizard.
Yep. Okay. It is now Sir Lucian's turn.
Alright, so I'm going to finish off this flesh column.
Yep, if you could try. Go ahead and hit him. Plus 11 to hit.
Alright. That is 12 plus 8. A natural 20.
Yep. That is a
Alright.
hit. Roll your damage.
It is 11 points of damage there.
11 points of damage. Nice. Go again.
Roll. Ooh, definitely a hit. Natural 25.
Ooh, natural 25.
And-
That's a hit. Roll your damage.
And that is 8. So
8. Lovely, yeah. You lop off one of the flesh golem's arms and it recoils, but it is still up. It is Ava's turn. She uses a bonus action to mark Red Wizard 2 as her favoured enemy. And then she casts Hunter's Mark on him with her main action. And then passes her turn. It is now Zinhorn's turn.
So Bobbit's still in the air, isn't
Yep,
she?
Bobbit's still in the air.
Cool. So I'm gonna pop my head around the corner again, and another bolt of lightning coming down from my Call Lightning spells.
Yep. Red Wizard 2 is going to make a dex save. That is a 22 on Red Wizard's dex save. And the one golem that is in that vicinity gets a 10. And also Bag of Bones got an 11 on it.
Look at shit.
So, because it's the second round, is it just a normal, or is it?
Yeah, it's the same thing again.
Yeah, it's because it's not a stormy condition. So
Yeah.
It doesn't get next. I always get confused by that.
Yeah, it's just the exact same thing again, because it hasn't gotten any stronger or anything.
Yeah. So that is 15 points this time around.
15 points. And, yep, 15 points, and Bag of Bones is struck by lightning, but somehow remains on his feet, his bones looking charred black.
Huh.
It is Bobbit's turn.
Was not a fan of Red Wizard 2. So Bobbit is actually going to touch down. Actually, alright, I'm about 30 feet down. If I land, am I going to muck up your lightning call, Zinhorn?
You'll be in range of getting hit by it if you land, but otherwise no.
So that would kind of muck it up, yeah.
Well, not necessarily, but it's there as an in case. It's a luminous omen from above.
Ah, lovely, wonderful. Okay. In that case, Bobbit's going to land directly in front of Red Wizard 2 and basically just try to go and grab it at her face to cast not Cure Wounds, Infinite Wounds. What Cure Wounds? You don't need healing, bitch.
Heal the
Inflict
bleed.
wounds.
Yeah,
Yep.
There's just Bobbit with just an absolute look of wreck and just constant rage on her face at the moment.
Yep.
So that is going to be, I need to make another spell attack. And, oh, wow, she really is pissed. That's another nat 20.
Yeah, that's definitely a hit.
So Bobbit is absolutely...
And spells
like,
do
and,
crit, so it is double.
yeah, and since this is 3rd level, that's... Oh, wow, that's going to be 10d10 the correct damage. Well, technically it's 5d10 and then double, but... Sweet, yeah. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to roll up the 5d10 and then see just how freaking bad this goes. Yeah, Bobbit just grabs this wizard. I guess this is the male wizard. So
Yeah,
it
this
just
is the
grabs
male
him
wizard.
by the face, and then there's just a shriek of absolute fury as she inflicts 70 points of necrotic damage directly at his head.
You instantly drain the life from his body, rendering him into a lifeless husk, and he dies with a whimper.
Yep, that's I don't think I can top anything else there, so that's pretty much her turn.
Yep. It is now the enemy's turn. Oh well, it's Bag of Bones' turn first. Bag of Bones is going to attack Flesh Golem 2, and he hits. He actually nat 20s, and he deals 16 points of piercing damage.
Hooray!
It is Flesh Golem 2's turn. He is no longer prone, so he's going to slam Bag of Bones with his first attack. That is a 26 to hit. He deals 11 points of damage to Bag of Bones and turns him into dust, crushing him into the cobblestone. He then shuffles over to where Bobbit is, and with disadvantage, attempts to use his second multi-attack slam. So that is a 25 and a 23. So unfortunately, that is a hit. Bobbit, you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage from Flesh Golem 2.
I'm lucky I don't have any spell slots left, you asshole.
Flesh Golem 1 makes a multi-attack against Sir Lucian. And Sir Lucian deftly blocks both of them. Would you like to throw a parry in, Sir Lucian?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so roll to hit Flesh Golem 1.
Alright. I want to parry. Alright. So that goes.
Yep.
Alright. That's it's a D20, isn't it?
Yep, D20 to
7.
hit, plus 11. That's a hit. Okay, roll your damage as per normal, and then add 1d8 of damage to it as you spend your superiority dice.
Alright, that is 11 points of damage.
Okay, nice. Free 11 points of damage. Not bad at all. Okay. It is now Rourke's turn.
So how tall is this wall that I'm currently standing?
Taller than you. It's about 10 feet tall.
10 feet?
You're completely
Okay,
out
well-
of view.
Yeah, I have a high jump. Standing leap ability. Long jump is 25 feet, high jump is 15 feet with or without a running start. Can I jump over this wall to land on the other side?
You sure
and if
can.
I do, would that use movement? Like how much movement, sorry, would it use?
No movement. I'd say it just allows you to jump over the wall.
Okay.
So you leap over the wall using your strong frog legs, and now you have your full movement.
Yep. I would like to move to here.
Yep.
More friends we need, methinks. And I cast Animate Dead on Red Wizard 2.
As a zombie. Very well.
Yes.
I'll put the zombie on the map. And the zombie appears on the map. The zombie Red Wizard climbs to its feet, and it looks at you, and it looks at the Flesh Golem, and it just goes, and then at the end of your
I'm
turn,
going to mentally command it to attack the Flesh Golem, but then I'm also going to move back to the wall and jump back over.
Yep, you run back to the wall and leap over to the other side. At the end of your turn, the zombie moves over to the Flesh Golem 2, and it goes, and slashes with its bony, emaciated hands.
Be right back, just a sec.
And that is a slam attack. That is a 10, which is enough to hit the Flesh Golem. That is 6 points of bludgeoning damage to the Flesh Golem. It is Ava's turn. She uses a bonus action to reassign her Hunter's Mark to Flesh Golem 2. And then she rushes up to Flesh Golem 2, and now that it's flanked by her and the zombie, she makes 2 attacks against it. So the first one is an 11, which is a hit. So that's 1d8 plus 4. So that's 11 points from her short sword, plus an additional 1 point of psychic damage, and additional 3 points of Hunter's Mark damage, which then makes her next attack. And that is a nat 20. She deals 11 points of damage to Flesh Golem 2 and lops off his head.
Oh, please, his head.
It is now Sir Lucian's turn.
Alright, I am into 50's Flesh Golem off its.
Yep, go ahead, see if you can hit it again.
So to be fair, they are actually, despite their low AC, they are quite bulky, which is the only
Yeah, they have a lot of HP usually.
It's the only reason why the one you're fighting is even still standing.
Yeah, otherwise it would have gone down.
Alright, so that is 17.
That is a hit, roll for damage.
Alright. Damage, it's 4. That is 10.
Lovely. And go in for your next attack.
Alright, that is natural 22.
Ooh, lovely. Roll your damage.
Alright. That
did
is
you say
another 10
natural?
points of damage.
Did you say natural 22 or just
Yeah, natural 20.
Natural
No.
22.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
Actually beat the
Sorry.
dimensions of the dice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how much damage is that on the flesh golem?
And that is 20 points of damage.
You keep pounding away at him and he's looking quite beaten up, but somehow he's still going, shuffling towards you, trying his best to hit you with his broken, fleshy limbs. It is Zinhorn's turn.
Zinhorn is going to see that there's nothing in the range of his thing, so he's going to just dispel the storm.
Yep.
And go in with a frostbite, I think.
Frostbite, lovely. So just come out of the tree so you can see the flesh golem, and then you cast Frostbite. Roll to hit him.
No, it's a con
Oh, yeah,
save.
sorry,
16.
con save. Con save. He gets a 24,
He saves.
but he still takes half the damage, I believe.
Fail, it takes the damage and has disadvantage on the next attack.
Should still take half damage though, because usually any damage dealing spell, a save will still get half damage.
Yeah,
So
so that is 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. Very well. There's now a bit of ice glistening on his putrid skin. It is Bobbitt's turn.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm alright.
Okay, Bubba can definitely get over to Flesh Golem 1, so she's going to basically go straight up to Flesh Golem 1. Actually, no, wait, no, she doesn't need to do that. She's just going to stand where she is and fire Eldritch Blast at it instead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that's an 11 to hit, and then there's an 18 to hit, so both hit is Flesh Golem. Yes.
Yep, that is definitely a hit. Roll for damage.
And 11 plus 13, so it's going to be 24 points of force damage as these two blasts just slam into the back of him.
Yep. Boom! As you hit him, you pulverize his head. And his lifeless body tumbles down onto the cobblestones. Red Wizard 1 is still banished. Rourke, will you release her now?
This is a wait where Red Wizard 1 is going to be. Actually, I suppose I can't do anything for the rest of my turn now.
You could, yes.
Seeing, well, combat's technically ended for like another 30 seconds, so I
Yep.
jump over the wall
Yep.
and go, get ready, the bad one comes.
And then, just as Rourke predicted, the air begins to vibrate with static electricity, and Red Wizard 1 emerges, taking her turn. She casts... let us see. She casts Greater Invisibility on herself. And then, once she is invisible, she runs away. You hear her footsteps pounding on the cobblestones as she flees out into the Forbidden City. Combat is over.
What combat rating is a zombie?
Quarter.
Quarter. I use my turn undead to destroy it.
Very well. The
Wow,
zombie
okay.
looks at you and he tilts his head and goes, and then crumbles to dust as you point your staff at him.
Father, why?
A temporary friend you were.
So the combat is over, and you don't know where Red Wizard 2 ran off to, as she was invisible when she escaped, but the corpse of Red Wizard 1 remains. And upon searching him, you find nothing but the usual selection of spell components. However, his spell book is clasped in his dead hand, And wedged in the bindings of the spellbook is a piece of parchment. You unfurl the parchment, and it reads, Russ Nasi waits in the Fane of the Night Serpent. Main entrance in Royal Palace, but secret entrance somewhere in vicinity, with a question mark. It appears these Red Wizards were searching for the secret entrance into Russ Nasi's palace while their compatriots gathered what remains of the puzzle cubes. What would you like to do with the flesh golems and the spellbook?
Well, it's taking the spell book because she still has the other one. She's still
Yep.
as well.
So this spellbook contains the same spells as the previous spellbook, and you may do the same actions with it.
That was basically figure out how to do a spell scroll for one of them.
Yeah, I'm going to post a picture of what.
Yeah,
she
you
was-
posted
yeah,
one
yeah.
last session.
Yeah, so we got that picture. So yeah, the Red Wizards appear to have prepared the same spells for this expedition as they felt this is what would be most useful. So flipping through the spell book, you find that it's mostly identical to the previous one. So you may make a scroll out of any of those spells that are contained in the spell book whenever you have a long rest.
Yeah, probably should have done that last.
It's okay, next long rest you could do it.
I mean, does she want to do anything at the next long rest? No.
I need to go fairly soon,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I was gonna end it. I'm gonna end it with it.
Okay,
next.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, as the afternoon heat beats down upon you, you finally make it to Oberlucker's shrine. And as you approach the shrine, you see something you weren't expecting. A pair of needle-like columns mark the entrance to a walled ruin. In the courtyard beyond, banyan roots envelop a squat building. The stone doors that seal the entrance have been blasted off their hinges, and lying scattered across the courtyard are 3 red wizards, 2 of them obviously dead, 4 armoured and uniformed guards, and the remains of at least 3 flesh golems.
Interesting.
Prove interesting, this will.
As you step closer to the Red Wizards, the one who is still alive notices you, and he struggles to raise his head, and he smiles and weakly laughs. We got the cubes before you.
Bobbert is basically just going to walk directly face to face, like crouch down face to face, and going, "You're not going to tell us anything, are you?"
Zinhorn walks
just-
behind.
He just smiles and he says, 1 from Nang Nang's, 1 from Papazotto's, 1 from Ai Jin's, and 1 from the King of Feathers. The 5th one we needed here at Oberlucker's shrine. As we approached in the first hours of this morning, Yuan Ti and undead ambushed us from within the shrine. He smiles weakly. Now the cubes are in the hands of Russ Nasi.
Primal savagery.
No, I was going to say, before Zinhorn even has an attempt, Bobbert, just staring daggers at this guy, slowly reaches up to her face and pulls off the mask of disguise she was using to keep her face covered. So basically, anyone with their
Yep.
eye shot can see.
Everyone,
what
so
Bobbert looks like now.
Zinhorn and Sir Lucian, you just see Bobbert's face, half of it normal, but the other half putrid and rotten, the skin peeling away off rotten flesh, and the crimson triangle of Ras Nasi burning brightly on Bobbitt's forehead.
Bobbit
The
just stares
dying
directly
red
up.
wizard looks at you, his eyes growing wide with fear, and he says, You are the one. Ras Nasi left a message. And he coughs up blood. And he says, he requests an audience with Alessander. And then he takes his final breath, releases a death rattle, and stops moving.
Bobbit's just standing there with a dead wizard in her hands, just with nothing else to say. Is just staring, just drops, looks at the rest of the group going, we need to move.
And so, with that, we end this week's session. Do not adjust your HP or spell slots, as we will pick up next week's session directly where this one ended, and that's when you will decide whether you wish to take a short rest before entering the palace, find a safe place to have a long rest, search the other two tabaxi spots, or whether you wish to penetrate into Ras Nasi's domain as you are. And thus ends this week's episode, as the race for the 9 magic puzzle cubes is brought to an abrupt end, as Ras Nasi and his Yuan-Ti appear to have made their decision, have found the Red Wizards wanting, and Alessander and her companions are the ones that Ras Nasi wishes to meet with. And so,
Yes, well, only one of our party died and a lot of their party died, so fuck it.
Yes. You acquired 4 of the cubes, and the remaining 5, taken by the Red Wizards, now lie in the hands of Ras Nasi, inside the royal palace, deep in the fane of the Night Serpent. Will you be entering through the main entrance and braving the horrors within? Or is there some truth to what the Red Wizards were looking for? Is there a secret entrance somewhere in Omu? And what of the other places marked by the Tabaxi Bag of Nails? What became of the King of Feathers? Does anything remain at the amphitheatre? Stay tuned next week to find out. Rourke, you gain an inspiration point because Bold died.
Nice.
Yay!
And actually,
Yeah.
everyone else, you may have a short rest as we end the session.
Oh my
Yay.
god. I needed that.
So yes, go ahead, spend your hit dice. Sir Lucian, I assume you'll be spending your second wind before you touch any hit dice, seeing as how you'll be getting it back.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
Inhorn
so
has some plans for the short rest, which we'll get into next time.
Sir
Yeah.
Lucian, before you even touch your hit dice, you recover 14 HP thanks to your second wind.
Thank you.
So, before we end the session, I'd just like to know how many hit dice everyone's spent and what HP they're up to.
Zinhorn didn't get touched.
Yep, so he didn't spend any.
So I'm just
Bobbitt's-
checking if I got something.
While he's checking, Bobbit spent 3 and is back to full.
Oh,
Yep,
I'm
3 is back to
going to use one of my divine channel divinities to cast Preserve Life
Yep,
on everybody before they heal, hopefully. So as an action, you present your holy symbol and evoke healing energy that can restore a number of hit points equal to 5 times your cleric level. So how many people are there in our party that need
5.
healing?
So Bobbit, you, and Sir Lucian. And Ava.
4.
4. So 5 times 40. Everyone gains 10 hit points before they heal.
Spend your hit dice. Okay.
Oh, in that case, I will.
Yeah.
I guess I only
Add
spent
1 hit dice.
then.
Yep.
I only used one hit dice. Then.
So, Sir Lucian, before you spend any hit dice, you are up 24. Will you spend any hit dice to get yourself to full HP?
You know what? I probably won't expend any dice.
You sure? What HP you at now?
I'm on 19
19.
out of 74.
Out of 7.
That's pretty good.
Like 19
What?
out of 74. So that's
Spend some hit
Sorry,
dice.
I've been doing the opposite way. I lead my own numbers up to 74.
Oh, you're
Right.
19. You're
Oh,
down 19.
okay.
to 74.
That makes so much more
Yeah.
sense now.
Go ahead and
You're
spend.
so
Go ahead and spend
Oh my
one
God.
hit dice just in
just
case.
That makes so much more sense. Every other time he said like I'm at like 6 HP. I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
You're very
So-
calm for 6 HP.
There you go. You gained another 14 from spending one hit dice. So
Alright,
Okay, so
Yeah,
I
2 points.
2 points plus your con, so 6 points altogether. So now you're 11 down, which is much better. Would you like to spend a second hit dice? Because you will get them all back next time you long rest.
Oh, really? I thought that's...
No,
See,
you
I
get
was in
them-
the whole game. I
yeah.
thought we don't get them back.
No,
No,
you get them
no,
back
you get
every
them
time
back
you long
every-
rest.
yeah.
They're
you
meant
get
to
them
be
back
used for
That's the only
healing
reason
when
why I
you
haven't
short rest.
expended them.
Yeah, so you may as well
Jesus,
expend
man.
as many as you need to get back up to full health.
Okay. Alright, we'll do one more then.
Okay, 6 plus
Yeah,
4,
one
10.
more
So you're
finish.
1 HP down, and that is fine, because it has been 12 hours since you woke up. The death curse ticks away, and your max HP goes down by 1. So you are now at full HP.
I've only got 1 HP.
So your max HP should be down by 5 altogether now.
3.
I used 2 hit dice, so I've got 6 left, and I'm at 49 out of 51.
Lovely. Okay, so with that, with Sir Lucian's max HP down 5 from the days you've spent in the city so far, we will end the session. Next week, you enter into the Fane of the Night Serpent, Rasnasi's domain, and face the horrors within. And then after that, the Tomb of the Nine Gods itself. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'd like to thank Endracane for the raiding party of 6.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
I'd like to thank Hoss 312 for the follow, and hope you enjoyed today's session. We play this campaign every week. Every now and then on a Tuesday we play Remy's campaign, which is our side campaign, and every other Friday, including tomorrow, we play Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. So if you come back this time tomorrow, you'll be able to see episode 2 of our Call of Cthulhu Terror of Sothogua campaign. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and until next time, when you see a ghost, don't look at it. Goodbye everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.